The view from where we sit is gorgeous, even if we don't fit inside your little portrait. The big picture is enormous, so we don't even have to fit. We after it, true purpose, yeah, we have to get. We mastered it, reporting it live from Black Pew, discussing politics, the culture, and laughing at you. Cause you don't understand the viewpoint, don't mean you up by a few points. You just ain't hip to these new joints we on. The world says to follow they pitch, we set the tone, then we knock it over the fence. Oh yes, it's gone. Them haters screaming loud from the bench. They get the bat and try to copy technique, but they miss the point that I mentioned earlier. I see that you observing the way I strangle this beat. Oh yeah, I'm a murderer. Enough of me, let's get back to this gorgeous view. I hope that you enjoyed the show. Welcome to the Black Pew.
Well, first we'll talk about this entrepreneurial stuff.
We talk about everything. Black Pew podcast. We have a special guest in here today.
Okay.
Wow.
Got you.
Yeah. Tell us your name.
My name is Darnie Shawiri.
And what do you do?
I am co-owner of Black Coffee Northwest in Shoreline, Washington.
So you don't do drugs. You don't have those legal drugs.
I don't do drugs.
What?
Those legal drugs, because coffee is a legal drug.
Coffee.
I was like,
I'm a hustler then.
Slanging them Colombian
hustling
beans
them
out the
beans.
bag.
We sure are.
She's also the CEO of Let's Do Work.
Yeah, Let's Do Work. I do racial equity consulting.
She get the beans from the dark Colombians.
Yeah.
No, we get ours straight from Ethiopia.
Really?
Yes, we do.
Oh,
straight from a
nice.
farm down there. And we roast them. We get them green. We roast them. And then that's what we do.
That's not too
Take
bad.
it to the next level.
Yeah, no.
I mean, they're coming from us.
Yeah.
Like,
The
yeah.
Ethiopian cocaine beans.
It'll keep you up.
Was there a lot of companies who, like, you can get them from where the less quality, or like you can get them from there's like not fair trade, or is it basically like you got the pick of the litter, or is like the smaller companies can only pick from these couple?
The bigger companies are not fair trade. I mean, the biggest one around here that has like all like Ethiopian coffee, like it's not fair trade at all. It's ratchet. Like the coffee game is ratchet. I didn't realize that. How much money they take from the farmers, or the farmers that grow the beans don't even know it's coffee. They think it's a fruit. And then they end up selling it for pennies, and they don't get, they're living in poverty. So we go right to the farmer, make sure that they get their money.
Because it is like a berry.
It is a berry.
It is a berry.
Yep.
And then it's roasted.
Yes. Dried out
We
roasted.
drinking hot juice.
I guess.
Yeah, if you want to call it that.
With a kick.
With a yeah.
Learn something new.
It's going to keep you
Yeah,
up.
'cause I
Yeah.
don't even drink coffee, but I
Oh,
love
I love it.
buying me.
Hot juice.
Yeah.
That works.
You out there drinking that hot juice.
As long as you get it from me. You can holler
Black
what you
coffee
want.
also provides more than just coffee too, because I don't drink coffee, but I love all of their other stuff that they have.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely just a community-based coffee shop. We're black-owned. We're in a white area.
Mm-hmm.
Lord.
In Shoreline.
Yes.
See, y'all are in that like weird part of Shoreline where like there's some businesses they don't want, and there's some other businesses like right over there. There's a junkyard. Or no, that's a tow.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then there's a couple other places because I know the owner of the repair shop.
Okay.
That's right next to the sauna place.
Yes.
And he said the city don't like me here. He was like, they wish I was gone because he has like a bunch of vehicles on the outside that he repairs, but he does a lot of he repairs for a lot of people in the community. And he doesn't like overcharge them.
Yeah. Is it a strip shop or is it off the strip?
No, it's off the strip, but you know how they want everything to look pretty.
Yeah. But it's his property.
But it's his property.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Unless you live in a tent downtown. I'm just saying.
Right.
They want them folks. But what made you get into coffee, and you also do consulting?
I do. Well, maybe I love coffee. I drink it all the time. Like, it's something that we always drink. I didn't know that it was a great business to get into. I also didn't know that it was there was time to like make space in there for Black and brown people. And so, you know, my husband and I have been doing like community work. We did a drill team, a step team, like whatever the Black people needed in that area, in the Shoreline area, up to Linwood, Everett. We just provided. And so the opportunity came open. Both of our kids are off in college on full scholarships. So we had little coins left. We got some money left. And it was time to make the move. Like, that's really what it was. Like, once our daughter got accepted in her scholarship, I was like, oh, like, we could actually take a risk. And so we just did it. We don't know what we was doing.
And she saved that community, because I
We just
promise
did.
you there is so many people that are appreciative for the Black
space.
coffee.
Thank you.
Yes, most definitely.
It's
I'm
rare.
one of them
It's
with
rare.
my
It
children.
is super rare.
Yes.
We just provide the space. Like, the space can be whatever it needs to be. It's been a place for joy, gatherings. It's been a place for accountability. We've had politicians in there. We've had people in there having hard conversations, holding people accountable, or we'll just turn up some music and play Megan Thee Stallion and do what we need to do. Like, it literally is what it needs to be. And we sell coffee. So, and that's just what it's going to continue to be.
She's like, and we sell coffee.
And we sell coffee.
Listen,
not
and
too
these
bad.
teenagers are who run
They
Black
do.
coffee from age 16 to 24.
They're
From
senior leader.
president to managers to baristas. Like, they're doing it up in there. They're doing a good job, too.
What do you think is going to be your next step going from here? Or you feel like you're content with this?
We're opening up another location in Ballard, and then we have a third location opening up where I can't say where, but it's on this side of town. And then we're just going to continue to open up locations because it's needed in the community, and Black people are everywhere, and we just need a space to be. And we need to claim, right?
Yeah.
And build wealth. And that's what all we're about is every business in our business, from our donuts to all of our vendors, are all small Black owned businesses. We wouldn't found them.
Yeah.
So some make out of their house. So we help you get permitting and go into a commercial kitchen, licensing. Like, we coached and brought people along with us because that's how it's supposed to be. And so we want to do that in every neighborhood, in every community.
That's dope. I do like that. That's dope.
Especially in the North End.
Yeah.
Donuts?
Have that.
Donuts. Zuri's
Yes.
Donuts.
Where's that?
No.
It's in Linwood.
Really? Trey, you didn't know about Zuri's?
Where?
Yes, right in Linwood off of 164.
Yeah, they have
196,
vegan
one of them
donuts.
streets.
They
I
have-
don't remember.
Yeah.
But his name is Davis. He's a cool, he's a Black man just out here he's like, I like making donuts.
Yeah. And I think he's on 174th in Linwood.
Okay, yeah, I don't know streets at all.
Off of Highway 99. I'll give you the address.
Yeah,
I'll-
his
Give
shop
me
is
the address. 'cause
Yeah.
I'm looking
He's
for
like, I'm
donuts,
going to need some of
Oh,
those.
yeah.
The donut game right now, like in the Northwest, is dominated by Filipino families.
Yeah.
They make a killing.
They do.
They make a killing on them dang things. Because the one by my house, they stay busy. Like, they stay emptying the trays and filling them back up, and it's not really labor intensive. It
Are you
just,
talking about Welch's? You're not talking about Welch's, are you?
no,
No. Or Henry's?
talking about
or-
Henry's.
Henry's.
Henry's,
okay.
yeah, because Henry's also has a spot in Mukilteo, and they have another one somewhere else, I think.
Yeah. Well,
But
Zuri's Donuts is good. I've tried it twice now.
I'm gonna have to go.
They're good. He has one in Ballard too on Market Street. So he has another location in Ballard.
Oh, okay.
But he's good. He can do any kind of custom donut. We don't have them all. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do that. I didn't know that. Not as Black Donut. I'm about to.
He's like, I've got to
No,
try
I
these
got to
out
go.
now.
Yeah.
We got to get Marv out to the North End over there.
Nah,
Yes.
I feel you.
Yes. Get him out
I
of
like
his
this.
comfort
You feel
zone.
me? Oh man, you know, like my hood folks. You feel me?
Yeah.
You ain't got the van no more, buddy. We could,
What makes it even better, you know, I actually slid through the hood this week.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Nobody knew it was me. I actually hopped out the car and somebody looked at me, didn't even know my name. They was just like, "What happened to the van, dog?" I
right.
was like, "Bruh, you feel me? It's still at the house."
Still didn't donate to his church, huh?
Nah, yeah, nah, I ain't going to. Why
We
you
heard it
doing
exactly.
that to me?
We heard it on the last podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I ain't even gonna lie. I already told the church it's going to American Northwest Recycling. Okay, and they gonna give me $200.
You're
What
like, I'm good.
what do you see as far as the opportunities for Black businesses, like connecting with each other, like pros, cons, opportunities, stuff that they can do better?
My philosophy is that there's room for all of us to win. And so if I win, you win. And so we have businesses that come to us that people are just like, I have an idea. I want to do this. And we're like, okay, let's figure out how we can fit it into, actually not figure out how you fit it into what we're doing. Like, how can we collaborate and be together? And so that's my philosophy. Like, I just want to see Black people win. The cons of that is that there's some Black people who just don't understand that, especially in the North End. Like, the anti-Blackness is real.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amongst
Black people?
Don't act all surprised.
It's real. And hey, I'm here. If you're with it, we're with it. But if you're not, then just stay away from us. And that's it. And they get mad about that because I'm not gonna like tap dance for you. I don't care. Like, don't come. That's fine because we are literally here for our community, and that is it.
I do, like, I hear that, and I do always preach to people that as the Black community, we have to understand that we have been conditioned to fight against each other for this spot. So people don't understand community building. They only see you and where you're at and why they're not there. And so there's a lot more work that has to be done in making people feel like they're just, that they're valuable, they're, they're
But you can do so much kissing up.
I get that.
You know, totally, you can be compassionate, and when Darnisha provides the space.
But hear me.
You know what I mean?
Hear this though. If you're, regardless on how compassionate you are, if you don't understand the mindset of the people you're being compassionate to, the progress you're trying to make never really matters because you don't understand their mindset. So you're only doing, and maybe there may be another different approach. Before you do, maybe they need to understand their worth, because see, a person who don't understand their worth,
maybe it's just
more times than not is going to just
maybe it's just not the right timing. Maybe try another time.
And you're right. Like, I look at those people and I'm not mad at them. I feel compassionate. I'm sad. I'm like, you really don't know who you are. You don't know the power behind your Blackness. Like, you really don't know who you are, and that makes me sad for you. So I'm just gonna back up and let you figure that out.
And I can only say that because I've come to Darnisha and asked her, hey, can we provide this space for this? She's with it. She's for it. She wants the space to be for all Black people. She wants to build this community. Now, when you bring extra stuff behind it, then it gets complicated and whatnot. But if you just really want to be a part of the community, part of building us all up and collaborating, there it is. It's already there for us to do that.
And I totally understand. I'm just stating the fact that two things can be true. As much as work you do to progress something, there's still people who are conditioned to not be ready for it. And when we study the history of just the Black community in America, we've always been pitted against each other to fight for a spot that there was already enough spots for us to have. So that's the thing. We've been mind tricked into believing that because you're at a certain level that it's almost impossible for me to get there, which that's not true. Like, you're my speed bump, and that's not true. The reality is you are more likely the stepping stone, to getting to the next level if you use the resources that you provide. But a lot of people and so when you look at other communities, you look at the Asian community, Mexican communities, they don't have problems sharing their resources and building each other up. So that lets you know that it's a mental blockage that the Black community have, to where they cannot, the pride from just being Black and being able to say, I pulled myself up from the bootstraps without anybody else's help, has been the detriment to our community. So that's something that we have to get past first before we see this evolving stage of people wanting to, because let's be real, everybody's not going to be a business owner. But at the same time, we can teach people how to run businesses, how to be effective in businesses, how to grow businesses, and make those businesses more money to where they can make more money. We can do that, but they have to be able to accept it.
Right. They got to put in the work for themselves.
Agree.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah, because I think what's taught right now is don't do that again.
I just gave it because you light skin.
See how they be messing with me though? Right.
Well, I think because like right now it's like, oh, entrepreneurship is screamed right now, but it's like some people see it's like, oh, there's competition, So there can't be other competition around. It's like there can be that, but also you don't have to be an entrepreneur to help black businesses grow. You can help, and you could be a part. Like, everybody's not built to be CEO.
Right.
There's a lot of people who can be managers. It's a lot of people who can be CFOs. There's a lot of people who can who can be the host. A lot of people who can do all these things, and a lot of people think that business shouldn't succeed, even though mine doesn't succeed either.
But see, society has perverted all these positions, because you go to a restaurant, you see a host. The host is making minimum wage, right? But the part of that customer service that host gives enhances that business, right? Yep. So that business accrues more money based off of their performance, yet they still get pennies based off of the profits that company makes. So that's why when with us, like, when a black person starts a business, like, and a black person want to be they ask for everything under the sun and under the moon, because they expect you to go above and beyond what the next person is going to do, not understanding that what you need to help me do to get there is help me build this. You know, help me build this, and we can recognize each other if we help each other build, and we can show everybody else how this should be done. But we still have this mindset to saying, I got to figure out how to get that without riding your wave, you know? And that's what it is that's the crabs in the barrel. Like, I got to figure out how to compete with you so that you're not as good and I'm better. You know, instead of saying, look at what Darnisha's doing. That's amazing. Let me get involved. Let me see how that works. Because you could birth another business out of you just by going and watching and saying, hey, look, this is how a business operates. This is how you run your books. This is how you pay your staff. This is how you do all these things that other people don't understand how to do. Right. Maybe you need to get accounting service like ADP or something like that, you know, and people, you see these. I'll put it, listen, me buying a car. I'm 36 years old. I ain't never walked on a dealership before and bought a car. I was riding the buckets, and you know, I love my bucket. I love my bucket. I was talking to somebody today, love my bucket. But it got to a point to where it was like, the reason I didn't buy a car because there was all these hurdles that I thought you had to jump to get them, you know? And one day I'm like looking at my credit score, I'm like, I got white people credit. Right? Like, I should be able to go buy a car with no money down, you know? And once I got my mind fixed to say, that's what I'm finna do, that's what I did. Yep. But as long as I continued to look at the hurdles that were in front of me and not try to attack them, I was always hindered, and I was always going to be riding around in my hoopty, which I still love. To this day, I'm having anxiety getting rid of her, but still, you know. But
you don't have to look at the next business as a hurdle.
I don't.
You can look at the next business as somebody who can partner with. Yeah, because you could go work for her, and she said, hey, I seen you came in here and helped out. We got another business. We want you to run it. Right. Or
you could come in and be wet behind the ears in business and see how a business is ran and say, oh, this ain't, I could do this. Yep. And you go, hey, thank you for, you know, let me be a part, but I got a venture that I'm gonna go out on myself. And see, we don't look at it like that. We look, oh, I'm gonna go and work for Dirty. So you only paying $15 right now. I can go work for Microsoft and get $15. You feel? I can work at McDonald's and get $15 frying fries. Well, it's like you taking your talents to make the richer rich, continue to make the rich richer, instead of bringing your talents over here, making us be able to, you know, making our cup overflowing so that we can give to you. Yeah. So now you make a good salary because you helped us build from ground zero, instead of coming in and, you know, or going to McDonald's and always trying to go and get a review to get 30 cents more every year.
If that.
Yeah, and if you want to speak more on Darnisha, like her employees who are 16 and 24, the pay wage that you do give them, because if they were to work for white corporate America, most likely us black people do not get paid our worth. So there's, you know, they have their what would you want to call it? Your guys's
our leadership team, or what?
They're
I would tell
based on, like, trying to make sure that
before you guys go in there, I want you to understand. I've learned that black people don't get their worth in corporate America because they don't talk for it.
Yep.
They don't
ask.
speak up for it because some of them don't know.
Because you don't think that, you don't go to a job thinking you can negotiate with these people.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, the benefit
like,
of working at Black Coffee, because they do that, and then everything is transparent.
Well,
all
see,
of
they're
these
open
kids
with negotiating with them. So what the thing is corporate America, it's a secret.
Yes, it
is.
is.
It's you come in here and we'll throw a number at you and you can accept that.
And a lot of people don't know that they can negotiate for it.
So I work for Compass Group at Microsoft. I walked in there, I told them, I said, hey, this is my bottom line. This is what I will not do the job for anything less than this.
Yeah.
You know, this is what I'm asking for. I understand if you want to, you know.
Yeah. I just recently.
So I get that, like, but people don't go in there and do that. People come in, they say, okay, well, the job's $15 an hour. You got any questions? Oh, nope. When I start?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that's not how it works.
Well, I just had a friend that works in healthcare, and she was applied for a new position. She wanted a specific salary. They wouldn't give it to her, so she turned the job down and kept the same one that she's in. So some people do know.
Yeah.
I think for black people, though, like after we didn't do all the interview process, we
Yeah.
know this stuff ain't meant for us. I know at any minute you could be like, bye, girl. And then that's it. And so we're just like, girl, give me the paper so I can sign it. I'll take the salary. I'm not trying to make noise. Because I was that person for real. But that's why every reason that you brought up is exactly why we have all of my leadership and our senior leadership team are 16 to 24 on purpose. When we offer jobs to them, I say to you, you're hired. Here's your offer letter. I'm going to offer you low and I expect you to negotiate. And then I wait. And I'm like, you must negotiate your salary so they can start practicing those skills with us so they know out in the real world, that's just what we do. Yeah. Our leadership team have heavy titles because I know in white America, that's important. So they got weighty titles like senior vice president of what. I'm like, okay, great. They run our marketing. We taught them how to do analytics. We do reporting. So we've run business before. My husband comes from corporate America, from Microsoft. So he's run business. I come from a nonprofit sector where I was taught from white nonprofit land in Seattle, which is just trash.
Really?
He worked in, this was a long time ago. I can't remember the team. Because he kept getting like moved around team to team to team. I can't remember the team. But that's where he comes from. And then I worked for large nonprofits, small nonprofits, but all white led, where they really believe that black people just need their help.
When I heard SLT, that automatically rang Microsoft.
Oh yeah, senior,
Amazon, Facebook.
That's him.
SLT,
And he popped around to different companies and did consulting work. So when you get to that level, like I want our kids to, I don't want them to be baristas forever. I'm like, how the audacity of me to try to limit you to be this just because I need you to work. I need you to be here for 6 months, and then what's next?
Right.
And our manager, we train them to train the next person for their job. And I'm like, if they're not ready for your job, and that's your fault. You're stagnant. We don't do stagnant here. Right. Like, figure it out and keep moving. So all of our leadership team, they run our social media. Like, the business is booming, and it's because of these young black minds. And I'm like, just leave them alone and let them be brilliant and quit trying to force them into what you need them to be. And now we're opening this nonprofit for the same thing. Like, I'm coming after all them grants and money that all these white nonprofits
all
get.
there.
Right. And they get it, and they think that they can fix the black community. Ask me how I know, because I climbed my way up to SLT, senior leadership at a large nonprofit, where I would sit in the room and hear them talk about how the black community just can't, jobs, they don't know how to do it. Like, we have to help them, we have to save them. And I was just like,
well, I mean,
yeah, right.
I mean,
disgusted, huh?
I mean, I kind of already said my word, but I mean, you know, I sit in I ear hustle in some of these SLT meetings, you know, and I listen to how, especially like this past year, how they want to prop up like these minority and black-owned businesses, but then when you listen to the actual details of what they want to do, it more sounds like cultural appropriation.
Yes, it is.
Like, and so it's one of those things to where it's like some people get excited for, you know, what they see and not understand actually what's going on behind the scenes, you know. And that's another thing. Like, I mean, big ups to somebody taking, you know, control of their own destiny, of their own businesses, not relying on these other businesses to prop them up. I mean, it's good to get brand recognition, but I mean, I think you should establish yourself so that they're coming to you, begging you to acquire, to be associated with your brand, versus you begging them to bring awareness to your brand.
Right.
And that's what we do. Like our social media, I mean, we're a coffee shop, but we're endorsing Black candidates. We're calling people out. We're like, this person's trash. Like we talk about anti-Blackness. Like if something happens in the community, like you could go to Black Coffee and we're going to say something about it. And that's why I always don't understand. Like it's not about just saying Black Lives Matter in your workplace. Like what are you doing?
Right.
How are you showing up? So when they do come to us, we sit them down and I ask them why now and where were you? And we look up your website. We look at who's on your board. Your all white board. Why are you here now? And your whole board is white. Like, why are you here? You can't talk to me. Or your whole senior leadership is white.
Why are you talking about race equity now?
Right now, like I don't want to deal with y'all. Like you need to go back.
Before now, why is it
Exactly.
now?
And you're not
So
going to
they
use
are
my
coming
business.
to,
Yeah,
right,
they do.
They do.
You ain't using my business to be out here like, look, we did it for the Black people. No, you can take all that and go sit down. I don't want to have anything to do with it.
How do those conversations go when you're just like, no, we're good? Do they think are they like taken aback, or are they like we kind of understand? Like,
no, they're shocked because they really believe that we need them. We're like, if we can work with you and help you, we already know it's going to help their business, but they're like, we're the biggest such and such in this area, like I don't need you. I have a temper. My husband, Black man, he's 6'1", he's 6'5", 6. Well, he's big. He's very calm. I'm the one in there throwing stuff, cussing everybody out, because I'm offended. The audacity. I don't need you.
Yeah, but I've learned that they don't know any better.
I know.
And so it's not. We take it sometimes as offense. It's like we were talking about the Black community earlier and how we have this conditioned mindset. Some white folks have this conditioned mindset to now they feel like it's like I'll minimize it to their homes. Their wife act up, they like, oh, go get a bracelet from Tiffany's and smooth it over. The shiny things and the glitter and the glam is what they use to pretty much distract from what they actually do, and so in the end of it, it's I mean, yeah.
It just hurts us.
Would you like a refill, Mark?
It hurts. It hurts our community. It harms our community. And I asked them, like, you want me to be a part of something that's going to harm my own community?
Right. I don't think and that's what I'm saying. I don't think they
don't.
They don't know.
But that's it. They're not going in there asking questions. They're just here like, we can save you.
Yeah.
No. How about you observe
I don't think
and try to learn
like
something.
We can save you. So I think what they look at it as is that we have dominant, and I'm just being honest because I've listened to some of these meetings. They look at it, they've dominated the resources so much that they hold all the resources, so that they've hoarded resources, that now the time, because it is public spectacle and everybody's talking about race equity and how the race to the American dream has been very unequal for a long time. And a lot of times, because we had lives, we could be distracted by our everyday lives, work and home and kids. But this past 2 years with coronavirus, everybody sat at home and you got to see the news just put it in your face. The media put it in your face every day. You go to YouTube, you go to Facebook, you turn on CNN, Fox News, whatever. Everybody's talking about it. And so now it becomes to the point to where you see people say Black Lives Matter, and then somebody's response is all lives matter. They start getting canceled, and you're like, well, I can't lose money. So you start saying, well, Black Lives Matter. And you start saying, well, let's make Juneteenth a holiday. And let's do all these things. And to them, to us, it's like, okay, this is disrespectful because like all these things have been an issue for a very long time. But to them, it's like, okay, well,
it's not affecting me, so
it's all political and money. Right. So how do we keep them spending money? How do we keep their votes? We got to make them like us again.
Right.
So we do things like do Juneteenth barbecues and figure out what the best menu for Juneteenth is, and you put Black Lives Matter on your website and all that, and you send representatives to marches, and you do those things because you want people to say, hey, Clorox is down, and hey, GMC's down, and hey, Cheerios is down. Like, because if they're not, what happens? The people who spend some of the most money in this country, because I mean, we're like the pocket with the hole in it in this country. It comes to us and go right out of us. The people who are the revolving door to green will stop spending it there because we'll eventually say boycott Cheerios, boycott GMC.
I sure did boycott me some Target for a long time, and it was sad days.
And so that's the thing. Like, I mean, we have strong enough voices to where people will get behind us.
I don't know about Target.
I was like, Target.
I'm like, Target.
Yes. Target was a super supporter of Trump, and that whole time I just could not go and purchase anything.
Oh, they were,
Yeah, they were.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like there was a lot of corporations who it's in their interest to support someone who's lower on taxes, who's going to help them shave off some of the roadblocks in getting back more money instead of paying employees more, helping them fight unions and stuff like that.
Well,
they're always
it's
a lot of them are
write-off
going
for
to
taxes when you donate to political gain, whatever. But me as a person, I have my right to be able to buy from whatever store that, and I kind of go into more research to figure out who I'm buying from, because nowadays I don't want to just spend my money to any company now. If I know that they're into some things that are providing my oppression, my children, my family, I'm not with it.
I mean, that's hard to do.
That's hard. Yeah,
it is.
It's hard.
It is, but I sure do take my extra time to do it.
When you look at who owns what, sometimes you may see the name, and sometimes you will not.
Yep.
And a lot of times, some of these companies, like, that's why all these one percenters and all, that's why they're buddy, because a lot of times they own these companies together through crop shareholder companies and financial groups and all that type of stuff. They put things in trust so that
when it's not public view.
When it's in the trust, you can't attack any of them personally. You have to go after the trust.
Right.
Like, there's these games that they've been playing for a long time that we're behind the ball on some of these things.
Well, and not a lot of that is for, public view. So you wouldn't know that. But the things that you can see and that's within your reach to be able to help, then do so. I mean, we've all been saying, if you are going to be a part of something, try to be a part of the good. So, but you can't use excuses as far as, oh, I'm not going to research this. That's going to be a lot, little things like that. I think that if you really wanted to, you should.
Over and over and time again, you're talking about people in the rat race. This is not everybody. Like, some people are too hungry to go and research and see who owned this grocery store. I'm about to go get groceries.
And that's part of.
And so that's what I'm saying.
That can continue to be a part of the problem.
But that's the life that we live in. Like, you
got to get out of that routine. If we want change, we got to get out there and do something.
It's easier said than done. And I go back to my single mother thing. If you a single mother of a household, and you got kids, you got to wake up and you got to prepare, and you feeding them, going out the door, and you got a job, and you got to get home, and you got to prepare everybody for the next day. Going and doing research, who owns this and who owns that may not be in your. You may not even have time to even think about it.
Well, it's in their best interest, but they just may not have time.
Most people are in that rat race.
Well, Target might be the closest store to the house.
Exactly. It's
versus
the convenience.
This just sounds like a whole lot of excuses for me. I'm sorry. That's just driving me nuts.
No. What I'm saying is it's not the fact that it's excuses. What I'm saying is society has set it up to where people don't have time to even think about those things. I
agree.
Because the evolving door
Don't
of life.
think that I haven't thought about that for myself, but all I keep thinking is am I going to help to my people, my family, myself to stop continuing to be the little part that I can, by the way, because I'm not God, to not not feel oppressed, not whatever I can do.
I think we need
I'm not
both though,
saying-
because like I can't do that, but you can do that and tell me,
Right.
and then I know,
Right.
right? I can't.
months.
Yeah.
I've been
can't
saying
do
that for
Yeah.
But
months.
you can tell. So there's
Right.
there's a
I've been
place for
saying
all of
that
us.
for
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly,
people. 'Cause
exactly.
You, even if you put it on Facebook, I'm like trash. I put them in my trash.
I'm gonna
list.
tell
Yeah.
everybody,
Right? Like, that's what
anybody
that
who
is.
listens to this episode, go back for months. I have been saying the same thing over and over again. Y'all
My-
fought me tooth and nail about
Yes.
that thing.
Okay. Here.
We ain't anybody fought him. on that.
That's why we got it
That
on wax.
was 2
That's
episodes.
why we got it on
y'all.
wax.
Nobody
That's
did.
why we got it on wax.
But that's
We
why I
talked about
love-
school
I-
and everything. Same thing, right?
That's why I love.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. that's true.
Okay.
Let's just mute Marv's mic.
Okay.
I'll say that's what I think. That's what's gonna change, like our Black community, though. Like find your place, like
Right.
find your space, and it can be. It don't have to be either or. It's and.
Right.
Like we want to build a house. Not everybody can have the hammer.
Exactly,
Like,
like-
you can paint. You can lay the concrete.
Yeah.
If I don't know how to paint, but I can do this, then I'll do this.
Right.
So like if you're researching
Be the
and telling me.
intercessor.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
said not everybody can
Be
be
the
entrepreneurs.
intercessor.
Be the
Not everybody
intercessor.
can be
Right,
CEOs.
exactly.
Be the intercessor.
So that's what it is. Like,
Yeah.
thank you for telling me that. And I didn't know that about Target. So I'm like, if I have a choice to make and I have a choice not to be at Target, then I won't be at Target.
Yeah.
Right? But
Due
I
to
don't
the
have
research that you did.
that you did.
Yeah.
So you could be like, boom.
And I'm like,
I
that's-
Which I
found
did.
out.
That's
I found
fine.
out
I
today that
posted it
Target
on
is
Facebook.
on my Trump. So you posted
Because
out
you
to
commented.
other people who don't have time to do that.
Right.
Okay, boom.
Yeah.
All right. I ain't going to go there.
Right.
I think that's
Oh, I
fine.
posted that, and I got a lot of people on social media.
They sell a lot of stuff
A
for
lot
like
of stuff, and I
$1,
was like,
$2, and $3.
that's
I mean, they
fine, yeah.
do. I can't go get groceries and a whole outfit
Right.
at other places. So like,
You know, and that was
It's
my
like-
struggle
yeah,
because
it's
I
like
love
convenient.
Target.
Wally's is the only other
Yeah.
Fred and Fred Meyer.
Fred Meyer.
Yeah,
Fred
Fred
Meyer
Meyer.
was almost on that list too.
yeah.
Almost, huh?
Well,
Yeah,
Fred Meyer-
almost, and Amazon. And
I
those are
mean,
my
I just
stores.
think it's
Fred
all
Meyer is on
trash.
that list because it's the Kroger's. It's the Kroger.
Yeah.
Hey, well, you would say
What?
something. Amazon
Fred
should
Meyer
be.
is a
Amazon
should be
store.
able to live
I
after
know
what
it's a
Jeff
Kroger store.
Bezos.
Yeah,
did.
Amazon should
They were
definitely be
some-
on everyone's list.
They were some of the bigger supporters of Republicans in Georgia.
I mean, I just say that all these corporations are trash and racist, so that's how I navigate
that's-
through the world. I'm like, they're all trash.
What was Jeff Bezos said?
Period.
Thank you guys
He
for
said-
paying for me going to space. I was like, you know what? No more Prime for me.
But I did
You feel
order
me?
something still.
I know.
See,
You know,
'cause
see,
I
that's
needed
the
a
thing. Like
cord.
with
I needed a
Bezos,
cord. I needed a charger.
They delivered
yeah.
it.
Yes.
I mean,
you see,
Man, the only place to get me a
you see
2
them
days.
little
love
Echo Dots I
Amazon.
have in there.
Yeah.
I got those overnight
From where?
from off of Amazon.
See,
I
Jeff
ordered them on a
Bezos.
Sunday. They was like, "Oh, we can get them to," and you want them 4:00 between 4 and
Jeff
8 o'clock
Bezos
in the
could call
morning.
You a dirty nigga, and you would still buy from Amazon. Like, I need that Prime.
You know-
feel me?
you know, he-
You guys
I
I
sound
think
like
that's the
crackheads.
one store right there.
You
You
guys sound
can't
like
get.
crackheads
His-
for Amazon.
I
I need
mean-
that delivery, that fast
His
delivery.
Really?
divorce was the
True.
biggest divorce ever, and he
He
made that
made-
money back.
That's crazy.
He made that money back in 1 year
1 year
Yikes.
off of us.
off of
'Cause
us.
I know I was ordering every day.
Everybody, and that's
The
the thing.
pandemic
yeah.
threw him through the roof.
You did.
No wonder why he can go to space.
Yeah, and he didn't even go to space. He went to the foyer.
Yeah, he
of,
just-
what is it?
yeah.
The foyer
He
of
went to the-
space.
he went right past the clouds.
Yeah,
He's like, look what I did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
the
went to
space.
basically like there's weightlessness, but it was basically like almost like the entrance.
Yeah.
Oh,
Before you get to
You're
space.
like in space for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, and him and Bronson, they
And
both
they failed.
That's it.
because
I thought they was up there.
no,
No.
I think they're
You up there, you get stuck there.
yeah, because I think they didn't do enough tests of getting people just having them do that and then go back, like going back for like a minute or two. Like they had went up and sent supplies up, yeah, but they had never done the full test.
That's how they do.
That's crazy.
Just think about how many people didn't survive the first
I know.
examples of bungee
Yeah,
jumping.
exactly, and they didn't wanna be the-
like,
they
think
didn't
about a
wanna-
bungee jump. Like how many of they bungees was a little too long? Like how many times did somebody hit the ground before they said, "How we gonna fix this?"
Yeah.
You know, or a skydive. Like how many parachutes didn't open for somebody said, you know, because I know it wasn't black folks just jumping out of planes saying, "Hey, we finna," you know. I mean, you know,
It's-
I don't know who. I ain't gonna point to one specific type of people, but I know it wasn't us.
It wasn't us.
I know it wasn't us, you know. So I was just saying, you know, it could have been anybody else. Could have been the LGBTs. It could have been. You feel me?
Oh, at least you didn't call
So
them
horrible.
names.
Speaking of,
I'm growing.
The alphabet
Good.
gang.
That's
growing.
what I like to hear.
Light-skinned people, face bump. I said I'm growing. I didn't say I'm
grown.
Oh wow! Well, and you just find that funny, huh, Trey?
I do, because I know a lot of y'all lighter hued people who have.
That is called
from my girl.
colorism. Do you know that?
That's not called colorism.
Yes,
when you know
is.
the certain traits that y'all people engage in.
Really? That's called stereotypes.
It's not stereotypes. The stereo turns on. Does the same thing, doesn't it? Doesn't it go to the frequency it was set?
Really?
So that's where you get the stereotype from. Was that the
He
stereo
is-
went to the same spot when you turn it on?
That's true.
That's what people say. It's a stereotype, but it came from somewhere, and people just
Y'all are
used it
wrong.
when they
Y'all
use
are
it in
wrong.
comedy and when they use it in everything else. That's when it got the negative connotation.
Yeah.
Like when,
I don't
okay,
see
I
like
like
the,
your
light-skin
like the
traits with
neg-
her, though.
like the negative stereotype
Y'all see
of.
I don't see light skin traits with you.
Thank
I
you.
don't.
See?
Okay.
I do.
Do you? Maybe, but I see it with every light skinned dude, so maybe that's what it is. Because I
What
be
do
like,
you
I don't
mean?
like
What
them.
light skin trait do I have that
You
you?
did it right then.
Exactly. The air,
Are you serious?
The air snatch.
Air grab?
The snap. The air snatch.
Really?
You went from fist bump to air snap.
You
I'm
did.
just saying, you know.
No,
I
Because
high
you know
five
most
and
light-skinned
everything.
than that, you feel me?
Yeah.
I high
have-
five and everything. And that's per race. Well, I mean,
You probably eat chicken waffles with parsley on it.
Yep.
No.
Look at her. She's
No.
looking.
Yeah, that sounds
I'm like,
good.
no. No, she does not.
see, this is the mess I be getting from them.
She's looking like.
You guys are wrong.
That sounds delicious.
She was like, maybe.
Because if she
Don't even
had,
need
I
syrup.
can't.
I'm
be
sorry,
with
you're
like
the only
that.
one with the weird food fetish stuff.
I don't know food. I'm
Trey.
just fine with food. I don't
Okay.
like some food.
A lot
I don't.
of food.
So I was. Somebody was.
I will hop on that. He has. That.
Yes. Okay. See.
That's not.
But let's get back to this. What are these traits of mine
I know,
besides my
I'm trying
air
to
grab
Uh,
and my
what
high
is it?
fiving and fist
But
bumping?
I don't hang out with people like that, like with females that have like the food. So I'm curious.
Yes.
So I was like, I don't like them.
Well, hello.
But I like
I'm trying to
Kendra.
think.
I
What
love
other?
Well,
You
know,
guys-
Shaquar Richardson got
Yeah,
smoked by the
exactly.
I mean,
Okay,
Switch-
that was
how
good.
about that?
I fist
me.
bump you, but
Maybe
now I don't even want to
Switching
do
topic.
it.
Switching topic.
Yeah.
Did I miss it?
How about
Maybe I missed.
You don't even get a fist bump for
I
that.
know. I was like,
Right?
that?
That's just how they be doing me,
I was
though.
real curious.
Right?
She got
Switching
that bomber
topics.
cloud roster burnt. She got
She
bomber
did.
cloud roster burnt.
That hurt my soul. It hurt my soul.
I didn't even know it was happening. I just was like, I saw the headline. She got last place. I'm like,
Supposedly she
last
like
place.
supposedly
Like, wait a
because she didn't make it to the Olympics. She like, well, I could race
like,
with the best of them.
Yeah.
Start yappity yap yap yap. And see, this is what I'm like. All right, black folks, this is what we get. Somebody you run your mouth. You feel it's like Nate. All right, we didn't give Nate the pass. He ran his mouth. Yeah, I'm finna line my homies up, and we gonna line your homies up, and we finna beat all y'all. And then he went night. You feel me? We seen all that, and so we gave him a hard time for all that mess he was talking to go Nate, right? Now Shaquar Richardson. All right, she got a bunch of L's, so let's hand her out all her L's. Okay, she qualifies.
Hey, Marv, you are the one to give them out.
She qualifies, right? Then she get high. I like Afro Man, L number 1. You feel me? Because she knew any Olympic athlete knows the
that.
rigorous drug
Yeah.
testing that they go to because they have to make sure you're not using performance-enhancing drugs.
Yep.
So it's gonna come up. L number 1. All right, cool. So we'll give her that. They let the Olympics go. Now we all know that these Jamaican chicks got burners. We know. It's a different type of burners. It's not. You got American burners, and then you got third world country burners. This is a whole different type
Wow.
of burner.
They got it.
I mean, you talking about running from police and then running from tigers, lions, bears.
Bye.
Let's be real. You feel me?
Nope.
It's a whole different type
my
of
God.
situation.
Too much Jamaicans.
You feel me?
Like,
Yeah, okay. So let's be real.
Lions, tigers,
You said
bears.
lions and
So
tigers.
she
and
called
bears.
them out. And the bad part, this is why she get 2 L's in this last race. Because not only did she race them, but she raced a bunch of amateurs. And not only did she get smoked by them, and they solidified who they was because they ran in they're like synchronized runners. Let's be real. Because in the Olympics, the order that they ran in was the same order that they ran in this race. First, second, third, they know their places. It's like, you know, the fastest, they know she the fastest, don't beat her. She going first, second, third, but beat everybody else. And that's what they did. They kicked her tail and everybody else's tail. So she got an L to Jamaica, and then she got an L to a bunch of people nobody knew. So let's go. I mean, and she still afterwards wanted to run her mouth.
I was here for it though.
I know, dang, you just like broke it all down. Just
she got L's, man.
She just needs a pat on the back.
She needs to just hush up, go train, and maybe return, and then
go
put up a performance
at the Worlds.
And then we want to hear you say
I mean,
something.
They're learning lessons.
Anything's possible. Do a Kevin Garnett or whatever.
Really?
You know, they ain't got nothing on me. Do a Denzel Washington. You feel me? I don't care. King Kong ain't got. You could do all that, but
just
win.
learn and get better and
Win.
be better next
True,
time.
but don't talk. Don't. That I think to talking now. I'm just like
You gotta win.
You gotta. Well, if
She wants a participation trophy.
If
That's
she
what
had,
she wants.
it would have been different if she had to come in fourth. If she had to come in fourth, or if she had to come, even if she had to come in fifth, we would have been like, okay, she was in the middle of the pack.
Nope.
She got beat, and if she had to come off, she had to come off. And it's not necessarily about being humble. That's not what we're talking about. Like, you had the audacity to after
she was high
after you got
during the race.
Oh my God!
after
I don't think she was talking about the race though. I think she was giving a message not about the race, but to all them all them white people out there. Like, she's too ghetto, she's too this. Like, I'm not going nowhere. I didn't see it about the race. I saw it way deeper. I saw her talking to them people who kept doubting her.
But why are you talking?
Because I don't know.
I don't think we're so. Hold on. There was no doubt about this girl's physical ability. We watched her run in the qualifiers. Everybody had her as a go-ahead favorite.
But they still dragged her for the way she looked.
They dragged her because of the things that she did off the track and field. Like, I mean, getting high, like knowing you getting ready to go to Olympics. Come on, like, for real. You don't see them white folks doing that. Like, because they know the level of importance it is. You dropped the ball for us. So every time that they could turn around and say, this is how y'all act, you gave them an example.
Yeah, and it would have been different if it was the Worlds. If it was the Worlds, like, you could skip that. You win a Worlds, that's fine.
Yeah,
you win the Worlds, you won some of the Worlds contests. That's cool. That's the trophy people get on their plaque, or they get a couple $. That's fine. Mm-hmm. This is the Olympics in a year that everybody's gonna be watching, because a lot of people is going to be home. We still got the pandemic. Mm-hmm. So why did you put so much on your plate? Like, yes, you were dealing with some stuff. But why did you compound that with something you knew? You know. This was not a surprise. It wasn't like somebody popped out the corner. Hey, gotcha. Here's a drug test. No.
But maybe she was hanging out with them white girls, like, get away with it. And she thought she could get away with it.
They know your address, and they also know you.
That's where we mess up.
Because
we should never feel like we're going to get treated the same way.
Because they all smoke weed. She ain't the only one. Them white girls just can get away with it.
Right.
But this is my thing, though. We complain about the uneven odds it takes for us to get there. Mm-hmm. So if you already know the deck is stacked up against you, why are you doing the same thing that everybody else that has a head up on you are doing? That's why they should say the generals don't party with the privates. You know, because for the simple fact is you put enough work to put yourself ahead of them. So whatever you do on your off time or whatever, they should not know. They should not be aware of or anything. Now, if you want to go and win gold, then you go get high as you want to, because that's what white boy Michael Phelps did. Nobody talk about him being a pie head, but guess what? He went and won America 8 golds, and then now they like, oh, you smoke all the weed you want to, Michael. You know, who cares? And so that's the thing. What's your priorities? Did you want to be great? Or did you just want to be known for scandal? Because now that's what you're going to be known for until you perform at a high level. Because all people are going to remember is the girl that could have been and got high and then got smoked by the Jamaicans. Mm-hmm. So she got smoked just like the joint she was smoking. They got her disqualified from the Olympics.
So do you think that she should have just dropped out like Biles? Like, I'm just not with it. I can't
Bios,
do this.
That was different.
No,
though.
bios
You
is
know,
a totally different situation.
mental health.
Because it was mental health.
That was.
But
Right,
because
but wouldn't
of-
you call
because
that
of the
something
laws
for her too?
But what I'm saying is because
But
of
Biles
the
already
laws,
proved herself.
Yeah, but because of the laws out there, and she couldn't take her meds and all that type of stuff.
Right.
Obviously, she was going through some things, and she decided, you know what? Because of
Do-
this, instead of trying to sneak them in and take them and getting popped for it, maybe she just
Right, but do
decided
we
to
know
go
that
out.
she's smoking marijuana just for recreational use or for medical use?
She said she did it because her mama died and she was having a hard time. And
So mental health.
But
that's still not-
But that's what I'm
that's
trying to
still-
tell
that
you.
still don't-
Do you know how many athletes that they're out there that done lost somebody and then they dedicated their championship performance to that person that they lost? Not saying, "Oh, I'm
Right.
finna do drugs." Like, come on now.
I know,
Like,
but there has to be one sooner or later.
we make fun of Eddie Kane in the 5 Heartbeats. Like,
Oh my gosh.
Nights
Really? Are
like
you-
this, I wish raindrops. Like he fell
my
under the
God.
pressure. That's what happens. You when they say pressure burst pipes. Her pipe burst, and she showed it just in that last race. If she would have came out there and at least competed with the Jamaicans, we would have said, okay, what if she would have been in the Olympics?
Right.
But she got smoked by them and all them beginners. Now what people probably gonna be having high jokes about her until she performs on a top level
galore.
again.
Yes.
And so like
I'm just
think about
asking,
that.
you know.
That's what I'm saying. We
I
don't think
think-
about that. We think because we propped up and people see us in the limelight that they look at us just like our white counterparts or where that's not how it
absolutely
happens.
not.
The road is way more. The road is way tougher.
I
to
would think that
path.
they would know that being
you gotta
where
keep your
they're
nose-
at.
You got to keep your
young.
nose clean because they gonna walk them around the back door and take them to rehab.
ASAP.
You know,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
gonna
Or in
parade
this
you. They gonna
instance,
parade you
you're-
on the front line.
Your pointer finger and your thumb.
I'm just saying. and
She's
that's-
young.
young.
Hopefully she'll take this and learn.
Yeah, learning lesson.
I
That's
thought
just
she was
this-
going to take getting high and learn, but
no.
obviously she didn't.
But that
'cause
might
she
be
got
her
some-
medicine.
and then
Right,
she-
we never know the back
Well, obviously
stories
she
on these
needs to-
things.
Obviously, then maybe she needs to become a public figure and put some money behind marijuana, and maybe she can make a lot of money like that because that right there, she can spend that and make a
sure
lot of
could.
money off in the marijuana business off of her name alone, off of that. She
right.
could come up with, because it was an edible, so she could come up with her own edible line.
Sure
If that's the
could.
case, but that's what I'm saying. But don't be mad at the world because they're mad because you represented them wrong. Because when you signed up to go as American, you didn't go as just Shaquar Richardson. You went as an American competing to bring notoriety to America in that sport.
Yeah.
And so it's bigger than you. And when you start to make those mistakes, it's bigger than you just letting down the black community. You let down your country.
Right.
I mean, I can say the black community part, but the country, I could care less.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I just had to put that in
But
there.
we
She's
still
like,
send-
I'm
we
just
still
saying,
send
I'm
niggas
just
over
saying.
there to run, play basketball, and do flips. So as long as we sending niggas over there to do all those things,
Be one
it's
of
for the
them.
Yeah.
country.
Be-
Because until
yeah.
we're going to
That's
start
true.
sending BC on them for the black community for the Olympics, it don't matter.
I guess she knows what she signed up for. She's going over there for her country, then she knows what she signed up for.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
You know.
So
from
I
the
get that
beginning.
now. Like she knew and she knows the rules and she's like, I mean, if you're there for America, you got to play by their rules, I guess. You got to play by their rules or don't go.
Yeah, or try to change them.
Well, that's not
Be-
going to
That's not
be
going to
in the-
happen.
That's not going to
I say
It's
just
an
don't go,
interna-
child.
This is an international game.
There's
Okay.
whiteness everywhere,
Yeah.
not just in this
Right.
country.
Well, let's be honest. They can federally legalize marijuana in the United States of America. When it comes to Olympic Games, they're still not going to let it fly because it's not just an American thing; it's an international thing.
Right.
So Tokyo is against it.
Yeah.
Whatever. India's against whatever other because we're not always going to be the host of the
Right.
Olympics, and so whatever country. That's why Simone Biles did it because she became susceptible to the rules of that country, and they wouldn't allow her medicine. So
Why is there always resistance when it comes to change? Even the topic of it, it's like scares everybody away.
I don't think it's
There's
scares
just so
anybody's
much
way, but
roadblock.
I just
so
think
much
it is.
this.
I mean, there's just some situations
like,
where it
Jesus.
is what it is. And
Right.
I've gotten to the place where I just learn how to finesse my way through. Like, I just figure out what it is and learn how to navigate through. If I want to change things along the way, if I want to, I will.
Right.
But I just learn how to navigate. Because I've had to my whole life. I don't have no backup plan. Ain't nobody there with me. We learn how to
Right.
play the system. We know how to get what we needed. And that's just what it is.
I hear you there.
So I've learned now, I call it like I know how to pimp the system. I've learned how to figure out to make it work for me and my community, and that's just what it gotta be.
Yeah.
That's how I got white people.
But
credit.
that is a part of your change. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean
that is you putting forth effort to change instead of putting up roadblocks to, oh well, this isn't gonna happen. This,
but
these
I'm
something about it.
But you got to realize that sometimes your change only affects your immediate sphere.
But it's still change.
But see, so what I'm trying to tell you is you're looking for change on a global sphere, which is almost impossible to do.
No, it doesn't have to be monumental.
But what we're talking about is
minimal.
on a global. What we're talking about on a global sphere, like you're talking about abolishing something that maybe 99% of the world is against.
Right, but she can try something.
I mean, we're in a country that's still against it, that's talking about it. So what I'm saying is our country's looking at being progressive enough to be the first people to even think about making that change. The rest of the world, I mean, they're still supposedly fighting people to impose democracy in other countries for centuries. Like, so what I'm trying to tell you is focusing too much on a global aspect of forcing some people who are dictators or are communists or whatever to change their ideology. That's why they're what they are, because their ideology is not going to change. And so in that case, it's like she says, you learn how to maneuver through it. Mm-hmm. So in that case, if it be Shaquar Richardson, if she can go back in time, it may be, hey, you know what? I'm going through it right now, but if I do this can cost me everything. I want to race, so let me go handle this first. Mm-hmm. And after I'm done with that,
I can go advocate for certain policies to change. They're not going to change. There's going to be drug policy. There's always going to be a drug policy. Oh, yeah. There's always going to be a drug policy. You can advocate for change for some things that might be like, hey, let's let certain things pass through. But somebody can prove that there's a competitive advantage for somebody taking that. If she's more relaxed and she could run and it'll make her run faster, uninhibited.
I don't know if it'll make her run.
No, faster. But what I'm saying is that somebody could try to prove.
Well, yeah, no. It gives her an edge.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It gives somebody an edge. And somebody and because there's some sports that are trying to get in the Olympics and are trying to stay in the Olympics. So the fight for substances is like they put new substances on the list every day and aren't really taking anything off. So I think that fight is not her fight. You can be an advocate for changing some of the rules, yes.
Again, that's part of change. It doesn't have to be a policy. It can just be her position there, like your position, wherever you work, and so on and so forth. Whatever it is, if it's just a conversation, you are a part of some type of very minimal to monumental change. It doesn't have to be, she needs to wipe out the drug law. That's not what I'm saying anyhow. She can,
well, yeah, I'm saying,
take her position into.
Why focus her energy on something that she
because it's affecting her.
Well, it's not.
And if she wants to.
See, that's my thing. And so I always talk, let's not protect stupidity. Let's stop it. Like, stop it. So somebody going, hold on.
Protecting stupidity.
Somebody going in and rob a bank because they broke. So it's like,
right,
they broke. Let's fix the system so they can go in there and take what they want because they need it. No. Like, there's rules she broke them. No, that's what I'm saying. We can't do that. There's rules, she broke them.
I agree to that. I'm just saying
and what I'm saying is when when there's a structure of rules, sometimes
those rules are there for a reason, right?
Was the reason why they paraded her like that is because how many times have you seen people break that rule? Because everybody that goes to compete knows that that's one thing that you're not going to get away with. So what she did,
I mean, it's across the board. Right, it's not excusable.
And we're having a conversation to try to excuse somebody from the decisions that they made that were bad. It was a poor decision. Somebody needs to talk. Matter of fact, what we need to talk
she should be held accountable for.
Where's the mental health experts on these Team USAs?
Right.
Like, why don't they have people that they go?
Why
don't they have
a
therapist that she can go talk to when she lost her mother instead of her going to the extent of taking edibles or smoking weed? That's the conversation.
Part of change, whether it's your opinion of what you're just saying right now or hers or however she wants to do it, but everybody has that opportunity.
Everybody has everything, but I think for Black folks, that's just the way we've had to maneuver.
Right.
So I'm not doing it like I go to work and I'm trying to figure out what got that person fired. I'm not gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
I might do, but I might figure out what I can do, but
Right.
I'm not gonna get fired.
Right.
But that's not me like making change. It's just that's just how it is. 'Cause
How to work
again,
around, yeah.
at any given day, I know they can sit my Black ass out the door.
Yeah.
For no reason, and ain't nobody gonna come rescue me.
Right.
And so I'm always trying to figure out like how do we maneuver through this. And so I feel what you're saying. Like if she knew she's there for America, these are the rules. That's what it is. This was gonna get you sat down. Then you got to play by that rule.
Maybe
Or
she
you gotta
just thought
play
she was
that
untouchable
game.
or some
That's what they
shit.
do because
Like-
that's what happens with these white people. They have you make you feel like you're real untouchable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
They
really,
really
aren't.
will.
Right.
And
that's
she got caught up.
That's my thing. Like, but we can't. You can't protect somebody from. You really can't protect somebody from their own ego.
Mm-hmm. Right. No, you cannot.
And so when we talk about this, like especially this situation, I feel like people get so carried away because like, well, all she did was, like, no, yeah, that's exactly what she did, and that's exactly why she cannot compete. That's exactly why she's in the position that she's in. That's exactly why she ran the race, because she felt like she had to redeem herself. And it did worse for her than she thought it was going to do, because not only did she not redeem herself, she made herself look slower than she did when she qualified. I mean, a whole second slower than when she did when she qualified. So, and so that's the thing. Like, so now people are questioning, like I said from the beginning, how serious is this girl? That's what they're questioning now. Because regardless of what you say, and I can sound bad from this, but all they see is the image of this girl with colored hair, long nails. Now she get high.
Right.
They love that.
Because they can eat that up.
Yeah. I hear you.
So who are you, like, who are you representing? And if you are representing us, you're doing a poor job.
She is representing us, and
But it's not,
that's
what
not
I'm
a very
saying.
good job.
That's
Yes.
what I'm saying. You're doing a poor, regardless on it. People, Tiger Woods represented the black community, and he said he didn't represent the black community.
sure did.
You can call it what you want to call it.
They don't really have a choice.
They don't, but they will.
Like-
They will pick their side if they want to, so vocally. But I'm saying, regardless on if you want to or not, that's who you represent, and you're not doing our just due. Because when you were in the limelight, I mean, look at it. Bill Cosby did all that work for all them years, and now look how people look at him.
True.
Your job is you don't have that same. Look at Harvey Weinstein. Anybody talking about him?
No.
Of course. Because they don't treat your counterparts the same way. They're going to ostracize them like they're going to ostracize you. So watch out for the lynching because they're waiting on it. They gave you the rope. They put the chair under your feet. They just waiting for you to kick it over.
Yeah.
For her though, so this is my thing with her. Like I have a hard time like criticizing her because I feel like I'll say like the elite blacks, right? Like they want her to be, they criticize her because they don't feel like she represents us the way she looks, the way she acts, the way she talks, like she's too ghetto, she's too hood. So that's what they're criticizing her about. Like I hear what you're saying, but that's why I can't take that stance publicly because they're just attacking her for who she is.
Now I'll tell you,
I don't
got
like
example
that.
of
Right.
Dennis
That's what I'm
Rodman.
trying to say.
Oh, hold on, Dennis Rodman. Before Dennis Rodman married himself and was doing all the funny hair colors and all that type of stuff, watch Dennis Rodman when he played for the Detroit Pistons. He looked like a normal person.
Right.
But once he established some notoriety, he
Yeah.
was able to play with his character. So my thing is with Shaquar Richardson, you don't come in the door like that. I know my dad, he worked for Bayer for 30-something. No. He worked for Bayer, senior research analyst for 30-something years. His whole life looked like Trey. Bald head, beard. By the time he got 20 years in, he looked like me. Dread head, all that. He put in his time so to the point to where when he
I don't agree with that.
No,
You
hear what I'm
come in as
saying.
your
Hear what I'm
authentic self.
saying. Hear what I'm
You
saying.
get
It's
to-
not about it's not all about authentic self. It's about you're already playing from the back. So sometimes you do gotta fake it till you make it in our situation. And so yeah, in order to get in the door, you might have to look a way that you don't want to look. But once you get in the door and establish that you're an asset to that company, you make it change your appearance to who you want to be.
Yeah, I
But
would
they-
never tell my
regardless of what you
girls
just-
or
regardless of what you
encourage them to
But that's because you know systems.
Yeah.
You already know that that's what it is. Like I'm not trying to be there to like be retire from there. I'm trying to get there to get what I need and leave.
Right.
So to me, it's just playing the game. But I'm not gonna sell out.
Right.
I'm not gonna change. But if I have to be like, hi, how are you? I know what you're saying though.
I mean, you go to an interview.
Though.
You don't dress in what you are wearing every day. Right. What I'm saying is the way you present yourself to a company is to show that you're an asset. Yeah. Now, once they realize you're an asset, so you can let your hair down a little bit, but you got to work for that.
But they sell out though. There's a group of people that do sell out.
But what I'm saying is, regardless on anybody that you've seen become who they became, all the people that we influence and that are highly revered, when you look at them one day, the way that they came in is not the way that they are now. Right. And it's because there's a way that you have to present yourself for people to initially accept you.
Just like your different phone voices. Talking to your friend to, hello, this is...
Yeah, I mean, you just have to be adaptable.
Of course. And that's all it is. It's not selling out. It's to learn about how being a chameleon in the situation that you are in, because that's how you have to, that's what it takes to survive. Now, you can play all that in anti-everything like that, and let's see how far that take you, because that ain't going to take you very far. So we had the conversation about the anti-vaxxers. All right, now look at it right now. You got all these companies that are mandating their people take vaccines. How many of those people that are anti-vaxxers going to be able to make a living after now? Because almost every company is getting ready to do it, right? So now how hard is it going to be able to find work? So you can stand firm on what you believe in, and that can affect your whole livelihood. So
Well, let me give you my definition of sellout, because this is mine. When you get to a certain position in space where you can make a decision that harms the Black community, you make a decision to harm the Black community, that's selling out. Because I've been in the situation where I can be adaptable. I can be in your boardroom, in your church service, and in your club in the same day and be okay. But I've been in a situation where I have to turn my back to my community, and I have Black people above me do it. I couldn't do that. Like, that was the point where I was like, I'm out. Like, I cannot do this. I can't take money from them. I cannot harm. Like, we're talking about the CD. Like, we're a part of, like, large nonprofits that's doing, like, gentrification. Like, I can't be a part of those. So that's my point of sellout. Like, the way you act, to me, I'm just playing. I'm just trying to get what I need to get, and I'm out. Like, I'm not trying to be here employee of the century. I'm trying to get I took all the trainings. Give me every training you have, every class, because I already knew I'm out of here at some point in my life.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Some people get into some positions and they know, like, maybe, like we talked about, everybody isn't going to be a business owner, or everybody, but that might be your best path to retiring healthily. And so, you want to establish your longevity in there. And that's why I brought up an example like those people, is because they established longevity in their career by presenting themselves the way that was going to get them accepted. But once they got accepted and the company realized they were an asset, they allowed the company to know who they were and retired in those lights. Like, didn't have to change who they were, like, and went on to better. My dad live in Jamaica now. He retired. He living his dream. But that was all from presenting himself one way. And once they realized he was, then he became his roster self. And that's who they had to deal with for the next 15, 20 years. And he was able to walk away and ride off into the sunset. So that's not selling out. That's doing what you got to do to survive.
That's not selling out.
That's hustling.
Yeah, that's hustling.
That's the hustle. And that's what we all got to do, because guess what? You think that that's what they do? You think that the white dudes at the corporation, that's how they act when they at the board meeting? No, they doing lines of cloak. They got prostitutes. They doing all this other stuff. Don't even want to catch them up in scandal when they get caught up. The true colors show. Like, don't act like they don't got double lives either. But they play a part because that's how they got there.
Right, and it won't affect them.
But we act like playing the part is, you changing, or you a square, or you no. That's securing your future.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I intentionally put myself in positions of power, because I was like, who makes the decisions around here? Like, I go to all the committee meetings and I'm watching who makes the decisions, usually the quietest one in the room. Yeah. And then we're going to be friends. And then the next month I'm making the decisions. And so that's how you have to navigate through. Like, that's just hustle. That's just hustle. That's hustle.
It's the art of hustle.
But there comes a point where you got to make a decision, like, is it worth it?
Yeah.
And that's where I was like, is it worth it at this point where you're pushing my people out of housing, out of opportunities, like, intentionally, and you know you're doing it.
And you want me to help.
And you want me to help. You want me to sign on the dotted line to help.
True.
But and when I left, I made a lot of noise and left, like a lot of noise, because but the people above me were black.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the part that took me down. I never knew that they would sign on the dotted line to hurt their community just for a paycheck. That one hurt.
Yeah. I mean, and I feel like, because I work, and I work for a big corporation, and I know for myself, when they started talking about race equity and all this, I realized that a lot of this had came when, like, that Asian hate was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And that was what they were really highlighting. And I made sure, because I know there's not a lot of black people like myself, and I know how because when we're outnumbered, we can become content and very silent when, like, these conversations come up, because we're like, well, don't rock the boat, because there ain't many of us. But I make sure that I let them know, like, hey, check this out. Like, y'all talk about race equity and all that, but I want to let y'all know as a black man that I don't see people like myself in higher up positions, and so is there a glass ceiling for me, or is there? And so like I have active conversations with my SLTs and all that. So what's my path through here? Like, how we gonna get me to the next levels? What to them asking me, so what position are you aiming at? What are you looking at? Like, I want your job,
right?
Like, what are you talking about? Like. And I want you to know that that's not telling me I want to move you out the way. Me wanting your job is obviously you going on to a bigger and better job. Like, understand that. And so that's that. A lot of people don't understand. Like, I tell them the difference between there's a difference between go-getters and your regular workforce. Your regular workforce is just gonna come to get the check because they got bills to pay, and they're gonna do that for the rest of their life.
Right.
And then your go-getters are gonna come in here and say, all right, check this out. This is cool for right now, but you gonna have to throw some extra top on that.
Right.
Like, you give me a 2-piece, but I'm gonna need this biscuit too. You feel me? And it's gonna have to come with a soda.
Man.
You feel me? And I might need a coupon so I can come back. Like,
Right.
and
I have some
we don't talk
stories
like that.
at
Because the white
companies.
people above me, I learned that they're pretty dumb, pretty mediocre. And I was like, I'm way smarter than you.
Yes.
Like, why am I here and you're
that's-
here making a decision and you're taking my idea to make the decision?
Yep.
Like, you're not smart. That was another eye opener. I was like, I thought I made it to the top, child. Like, get my degree.
I'm gonna give you another look. I always play devil advocate
All right.
sometimes. Einstein said that everybody in their own nature is a genius. You can never tell somebody that they aren't, because that's like telling a pig to do what a chicken does. And so what I'm saying is that person may be more intelligent than we think they are, because now they got you doing all the idea thinking, and they're pitching it looking good.
They're very
and so
smart.
It's a different level of intelligence. It may not be the intelligence of creativeness to be able to come up with the idea, but it is the intelligence to be able to say, hey, I'm gonna let these folks over here do all the work, and I'm gonna take the credit.
And they're hustlers. And that's why I sat right with him. Was like, I want to know how does this work? Teach me your ways. How do you take my ideas?
Right.
And you're constantly like not doing anything. So I sat with him and learned.
Yeah.
And that, because I wanted to know, but that's exactly what it was. Like, they're very smart. They're hustlers.
Yeah.
And clearly I need to learn how, because they're above me. So I was like, we got to figure this out.
Right.
Can we talk about vaccinations?
I'll see you later.
Well, I got one shot.
You already got
I got one shot. I'm about to get this. Man, my
thought
job
we
was
had
finna fire me. What you talking about?
Really?
Like, I ain't gonna lie to you.
it's mandatory for your job?
Hell yeah.
I feel like more and
I
more
feel you on that, though.
jobs
I
are
wasn't about to
saying
cash out to get no fake one.
So,
I'm
more and more are and it's about to be.
Not getting no booster though.
I'm waiting for a couple positions to open
are
up, because I know
optional.
some people, if they start making a mandatory, it's gonna be some people that's leave. So I'm just waiting for.
Me too.
I'm waiting for some people to leave,
too.
and like
I've been pushing for
I
it
think
already.
I
said I know some. Like, y'all know your boy won't. You feel me?
I think for me, I don't.
Hustling all the
I
way
don't-
to the
Yeah,
top,
that's what I'm
huh, Marv?
saying.
I don't
Hey.
necessarily agree with making it mandatory for people to get it, but
He does agree that we all should have it.
I think I think people should get it, because it would help us get to the point where they were trying to get to. But I think we're already too. But I think we're already too late.
Crazy
Do
you
what?
are. And guess what? We had the most exciting conversation on vaccination that me and you have ever had ever. But I will tell you right now is that everything that you were saying the last time we had this conversation was wrong.
Was right.
Wrong.
Was right.
Okay. Now y'all was tripping about. Hold on.
Here's
talking
another one.
Y'all was talking
High
about.
five to that
there
one.
we go.
There we
y'all
go.
was talking about the viral loads and the infection rate coming from the unvaccinated and all that. No, what we found out was unvaccinated people were mandated more than anybody to stay masked. What they learned was that the vaccinated people with the false sense of security that the vaccine was not going to get them COVID were walking around willy-nilly, breathing hot air on everybody else, infecting folks. And so what the thing is that regardless on the vaccination, there's other steps of mitigation that still need to be taken for us to eradicate coronavirus.
That's
it's
true,
not
but
be done. The vaccination don't even stop you from getting it. It only stops you from getting sick.
It doesn't stop you from getting
it just stops you
It
from
stops you
being
from getting sick.
No, it doesn't.
No,
All they're trying to do is cut down the hospitalization rate. So now you get the vaccine. Guess what? You ain't in that hospital. That's it. But you still got COVID.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
You
at
just
the
have
same
your
time,
symptoms are a little bit minor.
But that doesn't
That's
mean that you don't take it. That doesn't mean that you don't take things. They don't mean things like, let's say, let's use condoms. Let's use condoms as hold on.
This is where they get all passionate about.
Hold on.
If they
I'm trying to hear
said
this
that,
condom.
if they said 50% of people who use condoms still get AIDS, then why are you?
No,
why
wait,
are you
hold
doing
on.
the act?
Hold on.
Why are you doing the act in the first place?
Tap dance.
No, because
What did old boy do the most? The F your couch?
no.
Yes.
What their argument was is that people are still going to get it, and that's not true. People aren't still going to get it. What was that they were trying to stop
It's not
it growing to where it is now. You hold on. Where it is now.
Rate with the vaccine.
You can stop. You can slow down the infection rate.
But you can't stop it.
No,
is
but
what
you can't stop it now. That's the same.
So then why make it mandatory now?
So why
then?
try to stop it?
New Zealand got one case.
And
They shut the
down.
whole thing down.
Exactly.
Which is why they are one of the healthiest places this whole time.
Exactly.
So without vaccination, because they don't got vaccinations like that. So why without a vaccination they're doing better than anybody else?
They mitigated properly.
We're pumping vaccinations
Yes.
in people still with a COVID problem. We have the most vaccinations in the whole world.
And not
and we
FDA
still
approved.
with a COVID problem.
But you do not let a disease run rampant because you want to see an
Right.
experiment.
Then do what these third world countries are doing.
Well, stop.
Like
But
they're healthy.
They don't have it. What are you talking about?
Look at
They
that.
don't have
Vaccination's
No,
not the
that's-
answer.
What is the answer
It's not
then?
the
What
answer.
Hey,
What
you
is
brought
the-
this on yourself.
What is
you
the
brought
answer?
this on yourself.
What is the answer?
Trey, don't throw your chair today.
No,
okay?
what is the answer?
Don't throw your
No,
chair today.
because
This is
no.
the answer.
No.
This is the answer.
There
the
is-
answer
it's
like
definitely-
I told you.
The
I
answer-
told you. What did I tell you before my job mandated it? I said what's going to happen is the money is going to become more important than your health.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but
Okay. So guess what?
They made your money in your pocket more important to make you make that decision.
I got car
Right.
note.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You're like, there you hit me right now when I got my new car and everything. Right?
I was like, I
Wait a minute.
was cussing out my bosses to let you know too. I was like, y'all talked me into buying this damn new car, and now I gotta get this vaccine
get a
because I gotta
vaccine.
pay this car note.
Yeah.
I could have been cool with my
Exactly.
$500 car, but whatever. So what I'm gonna tell you is, just like New Zealand did, if we would have said, you know what, the people's health is more important. So we're shutting down restaurants. We're shutting down bars. We're shutting down all these things. Hold on. So people cannot congregate in these places and infect each other.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Just like New
Okay.
Zealand did.
I agree with that.
Because what we do know
But
is
longer.
that what we do know is that when people weren't congregating like that, we were the infection rates were going down.
Okay.
So now we have a vaccine, which has now opened up everything to where people are overpopulating stores, restaurants, everything. Now let's put it this way. You don't know if you got COVID or not, right? Because vaccinated people aren't getting tested regularly. Let's put that out there as well.
Okay.
So you don't know if you got COVID or not. You go to Applebee's. You in there with 50 other people.
Okay.
At Applebee's.
Happy hour.
Smacking, doing all that. You drinking. You in love with the bartender like T-Pain and all that. You feel me? Guess what? Now Everybody in there got COVID, probably off the strength of you, because the vaccination gave you some false sense of immunity.
Yes, but the vaccination that is going on now was to fight the original COVID, not
right.
Yeah, exactly.
To fight it off.
Hold on, wait. To fight off.
So it no longer is effective.
But now it is the variants of COVID that said, "Hey, look, oh shoot."
Which
hold
on,
wait. No, I'm not proving your
point. Now
point.
they want you to take the whole vaccine for the new COVID.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's the variant. No, it's the variant. It's the variant because they said that the variant now are saying, look, no, we found the variant finds a way in the unvaccinated. The variants didn't find a way in the vaccinated. The variants find hold on, wait. Where did the variants pop up first?
China.
No. The variants popped up first.
You're talking about the different variants?
In America, where did they pop up first?
Texas
and Florida. Where were people not wearing a mask?
Right.
Texas and Florida. Where are the lowest vaccination rates? Texas and Florida. Where was the least? No, wait.
Regardless of that.
Wait.
Everybody else got it now.
Where was
you feel me?
Because people went to those places who were still masked up, who were still vaccinated, and were around people who were unvaccinated. In the hospitals now, it is mostly unvaccinated people who were not wearing masks, who were out at these places.
That's
and they were spreading it. No,
the hospitals. Hold on. The hospitals are filled with what?
Unvaccinated people.
Exactly. So the vaccinations, right? The only reason the vaccination is important because as long as these hospitals are taking on these huge hospitalization rates, they cannot do anything else.
Exactly, because of the unvaccinated. Because of the unvaccinated.
What I'm telling you is I don't give a damn if you catch COVID. I just don't want your ass sick in my hospital.
Because they want to take care of everybody else. You can't do. There was a dude. He had got shot 5 times. He had to wait 1 week to get into the hospital. You know why? Because of all the unvaccinated people in the place.
All right, so was he unarmed, get shot by the police, or was he a gangbanger?
He was a white dude. He had to wait to get in the hospital.
Well, he needs to go anyway. I'm sorry.
They can't
make room for another person.
They can't do any elective. They can't do mostly elective surgeries because of the unvaccinated people who are in the hospital with COVID. There are some people who are vaccinated who are in the hospital, but those numbers
are
so small.
So what you
are so small. And you guys love to parade.
Now,
these,
hold on.
You guys love to parade these percentages.
I want you to know is that I'm not saying don't go out and get the vaccine. What I'm saying is that what you guys have allowed, the vaccinated folks to allow, you've allowed to create a dissension in America to where you separated what vaccinated people are and unvaccinated people are. So what you have done is, in one sentence, you say we should respect somebody's choice. In another sentence, you're saying they don't have a choice. So in reality, what is?
No, we never said
or fall in line to what they want you to do.
Nobody
always.
Tell you to fall in line.
Yes.
Stay home if you don't want to get vaccinated. Or get the delivery service if you don't want to get vaccinated. If you don't want to get vaccinated and you don't want to wear a mask, and you don't want to be, and you want to be in places where everybody else is there.
Let me take you to this. How many times before COVID have you went into work with the sniffles? Cold.
I've only went in a couple times.
But you have.
Yes.
Which means, and that's infectious, right?
Yes.
You can give it to somebody else, right?
But it's not going to kill you.
Well, at one point the common cold did kill people. Let's be real. But let's be real. What I'm saying is that before COVID, regardless of being vaccinated or unvaccinated, you did not care about anybody else's health. Now you do, all of a sudden, because it affects your livelihood, right? What I'm saying is now there's a division between people who feel like, hey, I don't know what this does to my body. 10 years down the road, my arm could fall off. Like, that not be real, but we don't know because it hasn't been tested that long.
Right.
So the reason...
It won't be until 2025.
What are you talking about?
2025.
Pfizer's going to get approved next week.
Yeah, but
what are you going to say then? What are you going to say then?
Then I will get back.
Yeah, right.
But I will only get back if FDA approved.
Period. Don't lie like this on record.
Nope.
The only reason
Nope,
they did
not
those
lying.
extensive tests was not necessarily because of the approval, if it was going to be approved, because they wanted to know how this affects you over the long term. They did not do this because it was more important for the dollars to start coming back in than people to be healthy.
Because
if that was the case, they would have
Hence Johnson and Johnson.
There was nowhere for you to go before. If that was the case, they would have kept everything shut down.
Yes, and they didn't.
But they didn't.
They didn't keep it shut down because of vaccines.
They opened it up before vaccinations even came out.
Exactly. They wanted to get back.
They didn't give a damn about your health. They cared more about the overhead.
No, they didn't, because they already said.
You just
said.
You just said everything opened up before a vaccination came back, and then
Exactly.
said no, they didn't, because they did
because the people. What did y'all do? What did
Come on, y'all.
What did y'all do? What did y'all do? What did y'all do when they told y'all the stuff was shut down? When they told stuff was shut down, y'all were protesting. Y'all were banning. Y'all were
who's y'all?
Marching at people's state houses, wearing no masks.
You talking about no vaxxers?
Yeah.
Okay,
and then the no vaxxers don't even know what the technology is on this vaccine, because it's not like the other ones. They've already been testing the mRNA. The mRNA,
right, which is
delivery,
still not approved by FDA.
Which is
No, the mRNA. Yes, this is the person
I am not
they already been working on it for 10 years.
Which is another
You
problem
don't
that
know
I am
because
not,
you haven't studied it.
Which is another problem that people
I
have with
don't
the
study
vaccine.
that.
So if you look at aspirin, no matter what brand it comes from, the ingredients usually are the same.
Yes.
So now you're telling me that you got 3 companies, maybe 4 coming out, that all have a different formula to combat this same virus. So why do you think people should be all gung-ho about that?
Ford, GM, Chrysler have 3 different methods of making cars.
Okay, a car is something that you drive, not that you put in your body.
And you can kill people with the car still, can't you?
You can run somebody over.
And kill them.
Hey,
Yes,
that's my choice.
And no, it's not.
Quick question.
Because you can still
Which one
kill
did
somebody.
you get vaxxed with?
Because you can still kill somebody.
You got Pfizer, and you got Pfizer as
No,
well.
I got Moderna.
You got Moderna. Moderna.
That's the thing, is that the technology has already been in use. They've already been testing it. They spent 10 plus years on the mRNA, the delivery system. So they already spent 10 years on the car. They already spent 10 years on the car, on the inside of the car, on the outside of the car. Now COVID came in and they said, oh shoot, we can use this for COVID. We can test this for COVID. And then the government said, hey, you're right. The government said, we need to get our economies back. We can't pay people. We can't pay people to sit at the house. We can't pay people to sit.
We pay them.
We can't pay.
We pay them to do nothing.
Okay, but we don't
talk about that, because all those people who sit on Capitol Hill, all those people who sit in the House, the dude who sits in the White House, everybody, they on our payroll.
Exactly.
Because guess what? When I go to work and they take that out of my check, who paying for that?
But that's 200,000 people.
I don't care.
Versus,
so you do what I say, not me do what you say. You don't run my life, I run yours. And when we get that approach as a country, then things will change for us. But we let them tell us what we gonna do with our money. You crazy.
But that is 300 people who you have already elected to do that.
I elected
versus 360,
all right, so guess what?
330 million people.
Coca-Cola can hire you, right, and pay you to do the job, right?
Yeah.
They also can fire you, right?
Exactly.
So that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Exactly.
When they pay you, they expect to do the job the way they want.
But they can fire me on Monday.
No. You can't change. You can't do the job the way you want to do it.
They can fire.
You gotta do it the way they want you to do it.
They can fire me on Monday. We can only fire them on the 3rd.
No,
on November 3rd.
Hear what I'm
we
saying.
can only fire them on November 3rd.
Hear what I'm saying, though. When you get hired by Coca-Cola, you can't come in and tell them how you gonna do the job. They got a requirement for how you do the job, and they want you to do it that way. If you don't do it that way, what happened? Kick rocks.
Exactly.
So what I'm saying is we don't put enough fire to these politicians to make them scared, because they aren't getting fired. Some of these people have been in office for decades.
That's true, and
they're getting paid by us.
And that's another issue on this. That is a whole nother issue on this. Term limits and all those things are another issue on this.
What do you mean you didn't know?
Because
Oh yeah, that's why I said I was out of here. I already knew Trey and I had a conversation.
because she was saying
trying to tell
she
me.
posted that.
I seen that.
She posted that.
She was
fool-
crazy for that.
That foolish
was
thing.
foolishness.
That was
That is-
foolishness.
That was hard.
That was supposed to be funny.
I want to know if
as
if
well
got
as-
HIV
Oh, I
and
saw that.
hepatitis C.
Yeah.
I wanna know-
It was
I
supposed
wanna
to
know
be
if somebody
funny.
It wasn't supposed to be funny. Don't
It was
lie.
supposed to
wasn't
be funny
That
as
wasn't
well
funny. No.
as.
Scroll by.
That's why you got the COVID-19 tag on your post.
That was a right wing.
Shut up.
That was a
Yes.
right.
They had the COVID-19
What did you say?
information
That was
tag on your post.
that was a right wing post.
It was a right
It
wing post.
originated a right wing post,
you look like
and
you're
that
from
people
Texas.
who were saying that were like, "Oh, I'm going to say this to change
Yeah,
the
you
to
look like
change
you're from
the
Texas.
The narrative, no. I've actually went to White Center and they did exactly that.
what place?"
I don't even know what the dang thing is called. It was
You
White
wa-
Center.
oh wait,
It was a restaurant.
Wait, hold on.
I
wait.
went in
You
because
don't
I
know the
seen-
restaurant that did that in this area
it's
because I
not a
hadn't been to
restaurant.
one.
It
I'm
was-
doing light-skinned stuff.
I was going into a bar, actually, not a restaurant. They had a skating rink behind their bar.
And they asked you a vaccination
And I
status?
wanted to go in, and they said,
Where's your
I'm
vaccine
sorry.
card?
Oh, you can go back in there and look, but you can't come sit down unless I see your vaccination card. And I said, well, I'm not vaxxed. They was like, oh, okay, well, you can use the bathroom, but we can't serve you since you're not vaxxed. I said, oh, okay, that's fine. As I was in there with my mask on when I'm in public, and I came back out and just left. But I don't think, it's not a big deal to me, but if every business was doing that, they're taking away the rights of people. Not everybody can get vaxxed from religious reasons, whatever, right?
How many companies do you? How many businesses do you go to and they say no shoes, no shirt, no?
I get that, and I've
service?
seen that. That's
So-
exactly what he said too. That's not the same thing.
It
So,
is
no,
the-
No, it's not.
Businesses have
No,
a lot
that
of
is not
businesses
even
have the right
similar.
to refuse
They
service.
have a reasonable-
They have a
That
right
is not
to refuse
even
service.
They have
similar.
a reasonable right
to refuse
to
service.
protect
Yes,
the public health
I get
of their
that.
patrons.
But this
also
is
have the
a
right to refuse service.
vaccination,
Let's not
something
get
you
that
put in
wrong.
your
Yeah.
body.
Yeah, and
This is something you put in your body. You mean to tell me they're basically signing off on
They
that?
have a right. Just like
Of
if
course.
you came in with, just like if
Of
you
course.
came in with snotty nose, runny eyes, and all this,
And you can ask them to
and you
go.
can say,
That's
hey,
fine.
You can ask them to leave.
But those are visible things, like
Okay.
in common sense. Let's be
But
honest.
why do they ask for a license?
But vax,
Why
like
do they ask for a
you're telling
license?
me I have, in order to eat here, where I pay taxes to your business and to everything else here in this city, I can't sit here and eat.
But how come some businesses will?
I mean,
how
I
come
do-
businesses only allow.
That doesn't
21
make any
years
Now,
old?
sense.
one thing I do agree with that is, regardless of if I'm vaxxed or not, like you could have a whole room of vaxxed people and you still gonna have an outbreak. So what's the point of?
That's what I'm saying.
What's the point of separating? And that's my thing is you're causing
It's just
a
the
division
divide.
between
Yeah,
people
that's it.
That is really unnecessary because you can still get the same result.
And-
well, my church, you know how I've been struggling with the. All right, guess what? Now we're going back to all mask mandates because people have caught COVID at a church. What I'm saying is it's better to be proactive than reactive.
Right.
And so regardless on vax, unvax, masking.
That's what it
being
can say on that
clean and
business.
having a good hygiene.
You can't come in
Those
here without
things-
mask.
Those things
Okay.
are necessary. Because if
But
you
not
don't have a vaccine,
vaxxed.
if you nasty, you probably still could get you nasty.
Right.
It ain't gonna change that.
Well, and they took away the mask mandates because they said, hey, our numbers are going down. People are getting
Yeah, but
vaccinated. We're one of the highest vaccinated states in the country.
Our numbers were going down because people were wearing masks.
Yes.
But no, they were still going down because people
And-
were getting
and that's-
vaccinated.
But people were wearing masks because the mask mandate was still in place. As soon as it was lifted, you seen this influx of infection rates. So what I'm saying is
You
Because
must
we
live
were
by
one of
black
the-
people because in my neighborhood nobody wear a mask.
see, I don't, and I,
At all.
And see, I know me. I religiously wear like I go in the store, but like I said, it's not a race. It's not a race related thing. Because I live in Pew Crew, and you go in there, and I wasn't Safeway one day, and there was more cashiers than there was people with masks on. Like that, and that's a real thing. Like so. It's not a race related thing. I understand that it's a comfort thing, and everybody's fighting for their own individual
And then-
comfort. But the thing is your own individual comfort could be putting somebody else at risk,
And then
so
mandate it
regardless
without it being FDA
regardless on
approved.
vax or not.
But-
before we
And
had
then
a
they can't
vax-
go eat in
before
public
we had a
because they're not vaxxed. That's
Before
just-
you had a vax, your personal awareness
Circle
of
is
how you
gross.
were operating outside of your confines of your home around other people was important because nobody wanted to be that person to get somebody else sick.
True.
now you got a vaccine and you don't care whether you get somebody else sick because you got a vaccine.
That's not
That's
true.
how you guys are acting.
That's not true. We don't always.
I don't
we
act
don't
like
all
that.
act like that because a lot of us still
I
stay
don't
away.
believe that.
Trey, all of our conversation that's been your angles.
Yeah,
on how
that's your
you should
angle
be able
that
to
if
act
I
like
don't
that 'cause
get-
you got
No,
the
we should be able to
vaccine.
go
If
to
I don't
places.
get vaxxed, I want to get you sick. That's exactly how you're thinking. That's not it. Mine is FDA approved. I want
but
something
even
coming up.
still,
That's what I'm
but
saying.
even
For
still,
me, I am.
What I'm
But
saying
you're
I'm not
saying-
putting something in my
I'm
body
saying
that they
regardless,
won't
I
tell me
can't
the
tell you.
ingredients
I'm saying I
of.
can't tell you
The
regardless.
ingredients
and it's
are
not
known.
approved.
What are you talking about? I've seen the ingredients of
I
all
haven't
three.
seen the ingredients. I haven't seen the
You
ingredients.
haven't
I
looked
haven't.
in.
You ain't
Remember
researched
you
that,
said-
Kendra.
I haven't seen the
You
no
researched.
Exactly.
because
You-
I'm not doing it.
Oh, you ain't
Because
doing
I'm not
research.
vaxxing
You
that.
ain't
I'm
doing
not
research.
getting vaxxed.
Oh, you
I'm
super
not
like
getting
it.
vaxxed.
The same person.
When I know that they
who
come-
said-
Person,
Yes.
the same person that
Because
put
that's
research
not
on the
my
pedestal.
intent.
You gotta research.
Because that's not my
Okay,
intent.
all right.
When I know my intent is to go and get vaxxed, I'm going to research
so-
which one I want.
So what I'm trying to tell you is
There's
is
no
that
intent for me to
you
get it
can't-
vaxxed
what
right
I'm
now.
gonna tell you is you can't. And I'm telling people this now because I did look and see that there was different ingredients for. I can't pronounce the ingredients that's in them, but I did look and see what was in there. I know. But if you ain't gonna do that, you can't be mad about. You can't be an anti-vaxxer. You know,
you can't be anti-vaxxer with no knowledge.
no knowledge.
Or knowledge from people who are, because do you remember when those people stood outside of those doctors stood outside like the Capitol steps, and there was that one black doctor. When they broke it down, a lot of those doctors, weren't practicing, or hadn't practiced in years, or had questionable stuff in their past, had gotten their licenses pulled. And when you start breaking down some of these things that the anti-vaxxers, they believe, these people, a lot of stuff is just disproven. Like the one I know you've probably seen the side-by-side of the woman who was like trying to tell a secret, and there's a scientist, an actual scientist right next to her, like, that's not true. That's not true. No, we didn't do this. Yeah, that part is true. But like when they string these one and two things together, it's not. That doesn't make sense. I'm okay with you saying I don't want to get my kids vaccinated for whatever reason. Okay, cool. But doing it with full knowledge of everything going on, doing it with full knowledge of what that entails, not saying, well, their natural immunity is going to do this and do that. Natural immunity, yes, helps. But there are some things that people have been blessed with knowledge to help us through that.
I hear
that
what
it's
you're
not
saying,
perfect.
but we're talking about communities that have been ran through the mud by America, and the ones that have been misused, and then later they come and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, this is what happened," or these companies, these medical or pharma companies, they put out these meds and you put them in your body, and then one day you got insomnia and a commercial comes on and say, if you ever took this and put it in your body and this happened to you, or you had a loved one or something like this, you can go to compensation. So we've gotten to this world to where it's like, put this in you. Don't worry about what it is. Don't worry about how it's going to affect you. But if something does go wrong, we'll figure out how to compensate you later. You can't blame people for having a hesitancy
No, I think
to participate.
I think it's fine.
And that's what's going on. People can question the chemicals. People can question all these things because we're dealing with people who have not always been upfront with us. People who have lied to us every time that they got an opportunity to. So why are people so people who play into the anti-vax and the vax are just as bad as the people who created this structure for us to even think this way, because you're continuing it. Like, instead of saying, you know what, everybody has a right to choice. Instead of saying, you know what, I pray that you just do your due diligence. If I was you, I would research the vaccine. Look what's in it. Talk to somebody. There are commercials out there, people saying that, but there's also a big media of people bashing people for not taking the vaccine and saying that they're the reason that this is continuing. No, they are not, because regardless, everybody in this country could have the vaccine. That does not stop the infection of COVID-19. So if we all still got tested with a vaccine, it's still going to be popping up. And so that's what people have to understand is that we're not curing COVID.
No,
we're providing therapeutics for COVID, and when you provide therapeutics are an everlasting thing. Cancer, AIDS, HIV, these therapeutics last forever. They don't just give you something in the world because there's no money in that. And so that's what people understand. We said, oh, well, they got their money already. Why are they making a booster? It's going to become a scheduled thing now.
No, because they're making.
No, now they know that it can run out. So what are they going to do 2 years from now?
Because they're
going to be asking you to get a vaccine.
But that's how science works.
10 years from now, you're going to be getting the COVID-19.
So you want to become a project?
But that's how science works. Would you rather not be a project and be dead?
I don't want to. They can project on somebody else.
But they're not. But you're not a project. You don't know how. That's how. That's the thing. Knowing how science works and looking at it and saying, okay, in 180 days, what happened when these people got vaccinated, and then we get those same people? Oh, dang, some of them did get COVID.
You know how science works? There's actually something called biology, and if you actually, when people pay attention in that, they realize that if you didn't mess with your immune system, you could heal yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But not
especially women who carry two human beings.
But not from everything.
But no, because diets and all those type of things, it's a lot of things that go into that. Now, what people don't do, what the researchers don't tell you, is that when you do start to take medicines that contain chemicals that your body don't already hold, it changes your chemical balance. So guess what? Now when you become sick, guess what your body needs? That drug. And so forever, now when you get a cold, guess what you need? That cold drug, because that's what your body needs now to be able to cope and subside the symptoms. Mm-hmm. So that's what they're doing to you, because now COVID is going to be here forever. You see, hold on. You see, it's an evolving thing. It's a mutating thing, which means that it's not going anywhere. So for the rest of your life, you're going to have to take a shot.
COVID has turned into and that's what. No, you're talking about.
What's a flu shot?
You're talking about
flu shot?
No. And how long does a flu shot last? How long does a flu shot last? No, wait. Look at the timeline. Look at the timeline. Oh, wait. Look at the timeline. Look at the timeline. Look at the timeline. It's an annual. Yes, it's an
annual flu shot.
We could have turned for the flu shot. We could have turned COVID from a pandemic to not being effective. It's turned from a pandemic to an endemic. You know what an endemic is? Is what you were just talking about. It's a flu, something that does not end because it adapts. Yeah. Why was it allowed? It was allowed to adapt. COVID should not have been allowed to adapt. You're right in saying that we should have shut down, and all these places should have shut down. But you had countries, you had states, you had provinces around the world who said COVID's not real. I don't know what COVID does. COVID spells 666.
No, that's the problem. We are the super nation of the world. Everybody looks to us. Hold on. Everybody looks to us. Hold on.
Not everybody.
Time out. Everybody, no, don't do that, because everybody looks to us to time out. Let me finish. Everybody looks to us to set the example. I'm not saying that we set the example.
Shit, sometimes we need to be following their suit.
Everybody looks to us to set the example. Look at what's going on in Afghanistan right now. Why are they crying for us? Not because we set the example. We are made to set the example because we're supposed to be the ultimate power of the world. Now, what I'm saying is what they did was the reason why people didn't believe America. One, because they lied to everybody and their mama, and two, because they did not handle it properly. Mm-hmm. That was all on leadership. So when you see the power, the superpower of the world say, guess what? We finna go back to opening up everything, even though we can't protect everybody. What is everybody else gonna do?
But there were people who were going through the pandemic at the same time. They did not care. Brazil, look at what happened in Brazil. The leader, Bolsonaro.
They're delayed reactions from what happened in America.
Bolsonaro
they came after us.
Bolsonaro did not care about the poor people in Brazil. He did not care about people.
Check the timeline.
Wait,
they came.
Are you saying Barcelona?
Check it out.
Bolsonaro. Do you know the
Barcelona.
president?
Yeah, okay.
But what I'm trying to tell you is look at the timeline. Brazil. They came after us.
They had COVID got spread around the world around the same time.
What I'm trying to tell you is their numbers, the inflation of their numbers, infection rate. Check the timeline. It came after us.
Then they grew up more than us.
They looked at what we did, and because we did it, any other world power can say, if democracy's doing that, you giving them a lane up to you dictators, all that, they can do whatever they want to now because we're enforcing people telling us our way to live is the way that everybody
But that's
can live.
not an excuse for you to let your country die.
I think we were the superpower until we elected who we elected. And
No.
I think the shift. It shifted. I think they saw us as fools.
I don't think regardless of what they see us as, it's still. Regardless of what they see us as, we're still the superpower. We can form our military and go crush anybody in the world. We got buttons to blow everybody else off the map.
I don't think so.
No, we do. We got missiles that blow up other people's missiles to try to shoot at us. Like that's what we are. We are the super nation of the world, regardless of who runs this country, because that person isn't the runner of the country. They are just the advertisement for the running of the country. Trump didn't have no real
But
power.
I'm talking about just the facade of it all, though. Like, we look like the superpower. When we elected him, we did not look like we could make good decisions.
We didn't look like it, but we still were, which is why, right, like I say, in Afghanistan right now, they're crying for us to have a presence there because they're not saying Germany come. They're not saying Asia come. They're not saying, they're not asking anybody else to come because nobody else can defend them that way. Because nobody else has that
money.
Nobody else has that power.
Well, because not that, because we were the ones who set up the systems in the first place. We were the ones who set up and propped up and said, hey, we can help you guys.
We're the only ones that can fix it.
We're the only ones that can help defend
because
against
we created it.
What is it?
We have
the Taliban. We were the only ones.
Y'all know when people do that. Y'all reinforcing what I'm saying because we created the system, which means that we have the power to control all that. That's why people ask for us.
I mean, you're right, but it's not a good thing, though.
I'm not saying that.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're right, but it's not good.
I'm not saying that's the best. I'm saying that we have it.
Got
People
you.
look to us to be that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we always operate as that.
Okay.
But when we show a certain sign, you can't blame other people for operating the way that they operate. When we, instead of doing everything that we could to secure the health of our people, we can't complain other countries for not doing that because we didn't do it. And we have all the resources to do it.
We
So
sure do.
that's the problem, is you can't say, well, the rest of the world did. Well, what did America do? Because they dropped the ball before anybody else did. We could have picked the ball up and scored, and everybody else would say, oh, well, that's what it takes to beat COVID. Instead, we dropped the ball, and now everybody's still fumbling on how to beat COVID.
But there are still people beating COVID. There's still countries still trying to beat COVID now. Even if we drop the ball or not, COVID was one of those things where, like Italy, France, Europe shut down when we were opening back up. I get what you're saying, that we are the example for a lot of countries, but there are other powers in the world who were doing more than we weren't having the success. We weren't having that much success. They were having more, then less, then more, then less, just like us.
Okay, so let's talk about France. What's the hygiene like of those type of people? Let's be real.
They nasty.
Shut that down. I'm going to just shut that down right now because we all know the biggest thing about COVID was maintaining your hygiene. So you talk about one of the nastiest places on earth and how they can't maintain. Well, they don't even take a bath.
Well,
so what are you talking about?
That's a stereotype. Let's go back to what you. That's a stereotype.
It's not a stereotype.
That is a stereotype.
No, it's not.
That is a
They
stereotype.
just spray perfume on their funky body.
When have you been next to a French person and said, "Do you guys take a bath?"
I took French all through high school and asked. They told me that they take baths once. Like, they teach you in class. That's their culture, once a week.
Yeah, and when they shut down.
But that's nasty.
Oh, you just
Yeah.
you're not doing
Right,
that.
and she just biting.
That's
We're gonna move past that
Yes.
because that doesn't equal that doesn't.
Yes, it does. You're supposed to wash your hands.
CDC's been saying, wash your hands, and stay clean, keep your hygiene up.
But if
all
you are
that.
shut,
and then
but if you are shut down at
your
home,
example is using the one place where they don't
I
wash
said
their hands
Italy.
and wash
I
their
said
body.
Italy.
But they stayed home.
I said Italy. I didn't say France. You said France.
Italy's one and the same. People.
What are you talking about?
They be acting dirty out there too.
No. You cannot lump two countries together and then say one is the other. No,
I think it just smells musty over
They all
there.
kissing each
The
other.
whole country
They
is
stink.
musty.
They stink and they all kissing each other. They passing out mono.
She said the whole.
You feel me?
It's musty. I believe it.
I'm just playing.
No, I'm not.
Trey
Y'all don't understand.
with his musty
that was
attitude
horrible.
on this dang
Musty.
vaccine
No, that's what
stuff.
I'm saying. Get the vax or go home and
Research. Don't
I
let
mean,
nobody tell you to get it if you don't want to get it.
You can't say research because you didn't
Don't-
research what's in the
Don't
vaccine.
go and get it because somebody's telling you research
research.
before
Yeah,
you
you
do
about,
it.
You talking about you
That's
read,
it.
You read the school district's whole
Yes.
you
whole
read
charter.
everybody's school
RCWs,
district, and
everything.
You can't read 3 ingredients of the vaccine.
Because
You
I
say-
have a research
you
rate.
read the
Because
whole
I know
charter
I
of the
don't
school
find.
district.
Because I know I'm not going to get it.
But you just said
I don't care
if
about getting it.
Unless
Unless it's
so you're gonna go
FDA
get
approved.
Pfizer next week because it's gonna be FDA
If
approved.
it is FDA approved, I will get all my kids in line and we'll have. I don't think it's.
But
like
you
under
just
12.
said that you haven't
Yes,
looked.
if it's
so now you got to look
because
at
I will
what's.
have to research it and make
But
sure.
so
it's
wait,
okay
you didn't.
for
So
me.
you didn't. So hold on.
And my
Wait, you
family.
didn't know what was in the. So you didn't know what was in the pie. You just said you hated pie, and then now you say I'm hungry next week.
Y'all don't know what the McDonald's
Right,
is.
that
Patty.
too. I don't even.
Exactly.
We don't even have McDonald's.
So
All that
Exactly.
food there
You
is
eat no
fake.
fast food?
Yes, we do eat fast
All
food.
right. You don't know
But
what
not
put in them
McDonald's,
fast food?
not
You know what put in
Arby's,
fast food?
none of that fake.
I don't
Arby's
never,
is not
never
fake.
met.
What you
Yes,
talking
it is.
about?
That's
How
fake
is it
meat.
fake? I
And
worked there
nuked.
for
You
3
said
years.
McDonald's?
And nuked meat
What,
too. by that.
Arby's?
Yeah.
Oh, Arby's is
Arby's is
nasty.
real
Yes,
food. Arby's
trash.
is real food. Arby's is real food.
You're like the only black
Why?
person
'Cause
I
you
Yeah,
ever
open the
that's
met
what
bag,
I said.
like
'cause you
that
open the
eat.
bag,
because I know what was
Because
in the food.
You open
his
the bag
intake
and
on
you're
food
like-
is weird.
It was.
He eats
I know
random
what's in the
Arby's.
food.
everything.
Arby's is real food.
You
No,
eat.
it's
I
not.
ain't
What's
never
fake
met
about
no
it?
one.
Either
that
way,
ain't- that ain't-
€8
I
is
will.
fine.
I
No,
will.
it's the Jamocha
Research
shake.
it.
That's
Yeah,
it.
and the curly fries.
That's
but,
it. But the meat,
No, but they came out with
The
them
meat is-
euros,
it's-
and euros is fire.
I didn't try that. I gotta try that. I mean, I'll eat a Jamocha shake. in a
You do
minute.
what?
I do.
I
Yeah.
said if once it's FDA approved,
That's it.
I'll look into it.
So if all three are FDA approved next week, you gonna look at the ingredients.
I'm gonna look
list.
into it and contact my doctor and my
Well,
kid's
so
doctor.
wait, hold on.
All
Wait,
of
wait.
that.
Wait,
I'm
you
gonna
could've-
tell
wait,
you.
wait,
What's
wait,
wrong
wait,
with that?
You didn't
No,
believe your
I-
doctor last week, but now you believe your doctor this week.
No, I didn't talk to my doctor about it.
Take the vaccine. I'm
'Cause
gonna
the
tell you
doctor
that right
said
now.
No,
Same thing.
my dermatologist encouraged me to take the Moderna. I think that's what it is called. Or no, I'm sorry, the Pfizer. Months ago, and I was like, I'm cool pimping, and I'm good on that. Unless that's
So
my
you telling me
personal
if they-
choice,
if they
that has to be FDA
you gonna
approved.
Double back, and the person that you said you
No, that's not my
that
doctor.
encouraged you to take
That's
it,
my
now you gonna
dermatologist.
ask them,
But your dermatologist.
No, that's
wait,
my
hold on, wait.
dermatologist.
How much of your body is skin? How much of your body is skin?
What?
How much of your body is skin?
95%.
I know, like
know.
I'm talking about my
95%.
I don't know,
family
I don't know.
doctor,
But, okay,
like
but
my
this- I
primary
made that up.
doctor.
Dermatologist,
I
what
will
you
go
want?
and talk. That was just a conversation. Yeah, you're just
But-
going. You're
But
just
you
being
just-
ridiculous now.
No, I'm
what?
saying no. But
Anyhow,
if you trust,
I will talk
if
to
you
my
trust-
primary doctor and make my
did- she
choice,
did the air
just like
grab.
everybody in this room had a choice to make for themselves. Respect my choice.
But everybody
That's
should.
it.
I mean, you
Oh,
should
ethics.
research.
I'm playing office.
Yeah, I don't trust none of it. I don't trust the Tylenol. So you should research.
Yes.
I don't think there's nothing wrong
Research
with that.
everything
Yeah.
before
You
doing
should
it.
research.
Before I got Pfizer, like I read what was in Pfizer. I couldn't pronounce it, but like I read
Well-
and seen where it came from. All that. Like I did all that, but I mean, at the end of the day, it was like, hey, I got bills to pay.
I mean, I'm still waiting for my arm. We sat there and was like, if my arm falls off, I made my husband go first.
Well, and I think that whole if the arm falls off
I
thing, that was
mean-
like it's like okay, come
mean,
on, like
but-
let's be real.
I've known people who had it for a while, so that was what I was looking at.
Right,
them,
that
like,
too. I wasn't
you
gonna be
ain't
the first
died
one in
yet,
line.
you feel me?
I mean, you should research. You should
Yes.
question.
Yes.
Yes,
But you make the
absolutely.
decision that you make for yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if you're not vaccinated, could you just wear a mask?
Right.
That's
right.
all we
Stay
ask.
home.
Or stay home.
Shoot, if
Yeah.
you vaccinated, wear a mask.
I
Like,
agree. Everybody should wear a
you
mask.
wear a mask, like,
1,000%.
don't let
Vaccinated
this
or not,
vaccinated
everybody
make
should.
you
I
feel
agree.
that you have immunity and that you are not the problem because you can.
Because we aren't the
become
Yes.
problem.
Yep.
We
Right,
are the
right.
solution.
And people just
That
nasty.
means when after
wear
we
a
leave
mask.
their tray, you should probably sanitize all of our mics
I
and
do.
get everything cracking and
I
popping
ain't
for
even
next
gonna
week,
lie.
bro.
I sprayed them last week.
Wear
I
a
ain't
Did
gonna
you
lie.
there?
I
Air
am-
fist pump.
I'm a
Mr.
I
Vax
am
guy.
a half vaxxed. I'm half vaxxed, but I still have compassion for my anti-vaxxers because I know the struggle and I know how hard it is to believe the government.
No, I think the thing about it
That's
is like
exactly that.
the people that are posting that people should die or people that
What?
should get it, like you're a horrible person if you don't get it. That's the minority. Just like the other side is the minority.
That is not the minority.
That is
bro.
that
Who
is
is
minority.
saying shit?
Every
die. Who's
news
saying that?
outlet, every news. I'm
I've
reading
not heard
stories,
that.
headlines every day. I don't send them to y'all because I send y'all headlines all the time. I don't send them to
Oh,
y'all
because people get
because
dying?
There's mad headlines saying There's some headline today. There's a headline I read today that said unvaccinated African Americans are the reason that the pandemic.
No, that was from Texas.
Was Texas.
That was the Texas governor.
But
that was Texas governor.
That is a recent one. I'm talking about there. Every day there is a headline about unvaccinators and how they are. At one point, they said this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
True.
Yeah.
Because there was a
that
point,
came from the highest office in the land.
But at one point, that was what it was.
No, it wasn't. That was the narrative that y'all wanted to use.
Don't say y'all, not
because
me.
They just
not
started.
That's the narrative that people wanted to use because they were looking at, the hospitalization rate, people are in the hospital. But what they're not looking at is they weren't looking at the fact that who got them infected. They were just looking at who was infected and that they weren't vaxxed, so that they were extremely ill. But we didn't start until recently looking at the fact that, oh snap, vaccinated people can be carriers and can pass it too. So now you can be vaxxed and feel in a certain way and still be the person who kills somebody.
Now that the efficacy of the vaccine is starting to wear down, just like the other vaccines that we've had in the past, they've had boosters for every vaccine. One vaccine had 4 boosters. It does not mean that the vaccine does not work. Its efficacy, as the variants go on, as the thing mutates, as the thing changes, it says, that now the people who are getting infected are younger people between 20 and 30 are the biggest group that are being infected now. With the variant. Now there's two
hygiene.
There's two
all of
but
this
hygiene.
stuff,
But
like,
hygiene.
I want you to hear what's okay with this and saying this is it's an evolving and changing thing, and we don't really have a grip on it. But until we get a grip on it, we're just going to pump chemicals into you.
They're not trying
what's
to.
happening.
No, that's not. They're not trying to pump chemicals in you.
What?
So
that's
why
what a
only
vaccine
3
is.
vaccines. Nobody, not any other chemicals.
Those are
people who are.
Hold on. There's a third one because they realized that the 2 don't last, right?
No. They all came out around the same time.
Why are they doing a booster shot?
Because they realized
there's a variant.
That's how.
So what I'm
saying,
that's how science. That's how the science is working.
Hear me out and hear yourself, because what I'm trying to help you understand is what. So coronavirus comes.
Mm-hmm.
You get 2 shots, or for Johnson 1, right? There's a variant change. It mutates. So now you got to take another shot, a booster. Because the efficacy of the one to fight the original coronavirus does not have the efficacy against the Delta, right? Infection rate.
It's less.
Viral load.
Yes.
All that. So now they got to figure out how to curb Delta, right? So that's where they come up with the booster. Yet we still haven't vaccinated our children.
Okay. They're working on that now.
Oh, but they got a 3rd shot for you. So all right. Now, while they're figuring it out, if you really want to do some research on infectious diseases, they're right now in places like the Congo and other places that are saying that we ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, because they prioritize.
If that's the case, they're still going to be pumping chemicals into you into the distant future, because there's always going to be something that's going to overtake the last thing that they're going to need chemicals in you to fight.
That's how this thing is working right now. Science is not one roadblock. Oh, that street right there, that's the dead end. That's where we're stopping right now. No, it's like, hey,
on some things that's
true,
yes.
That's a global. How many people have been killed by COVID right now?
So you don't.
I don't know, but I'm saying that that's not everything. That's just COVID right now.
Life expectancy for people going down since people have been starting to put all these different chemicals in their body. You don't think that these start to affect your longevity of your life, to where eventually
polio,
your body starts to break down
all
because
of these different vaccinations?
Because eventually, if you're putting these things in your body, eventually you're going to be marrying them with other chemicals as you age, because that's what your body is going to start to depend on, and it eventually is the decline of your body. So what you're saying is that all this technology is okay. But it goes against the preservation of your body.
Yeah, and you're okay with doing that as long as they pay you. Good night.
No, well, what I'm saying is,
Yes,
well, you have
but-
fun living in
Yes.
Tennessee, okay?
And that's
I'll
fine.
tell you that. That's
But
good.
I would
that's
much
what I'm saying.
rather-
Instead, I'm not gonna go to Tent City. I'm not gonna all the work all the work that I did to build my credit up and do all that. I'm not gonna let it go down because I'm gonna let the paycheck go down the drain. Like, no, that's not. Now, I also want to let people know this. People talk about, well, there's no weapon formed against me that can prosper. Well, I'll tell you right now, if somebody put a gun on you and shot you, they can kill your ass. But guess what you can do? Put a bulletproof vest on. So what I'm saying is regardless of the fact, there are things out there that are used to protect you. Right now, the vaccine is protecting my livelihood. I ain't worried about sickness. I'm worried about being able to provide.
Right. Okay.
I feel it.
I hear you on that, but still,
I
it ain't
feel
enough
it.
for me either.
Hey, well, like I said,
Not for
they
me.
got room in Tent City.
I don't
feel
have
me?
to live in Tin City.
I'm just saying, like, eventually you got to figure out how to have an income. And right now, the way that the world
You
is
can provide
going
an income
is
anyway.
to be able to supplement a consistent income. You might have to be vaccinated.
There are
That's
more and
real
more
talk.
people who are
just a fact.
saying I've seen this, who are saying if their job mandates vaccines, that they will quit. Some of those people are the same people when all these people were on unemployment were saying these people need to get off unemployment. They're not doing anything. They're wasting our money. They're doing this, doing that. Those are the same people now who are going to choose to not work.
Because they have an option to. I never had an option to. I have to work.
Yeah.
So it's not an option for me. They have they have
Yeah.
an option to be like, I'm gonna leave my job. Then I don't know what that life's about.
Yeah, and there were some people who
don't
lost.
know that
I'll put it
life.
this way. I know, and this is kind of law about, you know me, boy, play out there, whatever. I was talking to this little yitty, you feel me? And she literally moved out here for 1 year just because she wanted to live out here during a Seahawks season. And in the middle of talking to her, I said, damn, like that must be nice,
Right?
to stop everything that you're doing,
Amazing.
not work. Like, I was like, oh, when are you free? Oh, anytime, really? Anytime. And you going to Seahawks games, you doing all. Must be nice to have that type of backing of, people who going to make sure that you have everything that'll help you pay your bills and all that. But guess what? Some of us ain't got that.
True.
So if it's me deciding on whether I'm going to break down and take this vaccine or I'm finna be homeless and carless, like, nah, because I ain't letting the bank come pick up my car, and I ain't going out on the streets right now. And that's the thing. Like, I mean, there's some sacrifices that you got to make. And I held out for as long as I could because I told myself, as long as they're going to let me come to work without it, I'm going to come to work without it. But as soon as they tell me it's mandatory, I'm going to do what I got to do. Because, I mean, I know if my job, the company that I work for, I know if they're doing it, eventually everybody else is finna be doing it. And that means that that's what's going. I'm gonna tell you right now.
It's not FDA approved.
It's not right, but it's gonna happen.
It doesn't even matter if it's FDA approved right now because they know it's getting ready to get FDA approved. That's why their mandates aren't right now. They've actually drawn their mandates out to somewhere in early September, late September, because they know those approvals are coming
October.
right now.
Yep.
Like, and so that's why they're pushing the mandates out, because by the time these mandates get kicked into effect, it'll be FDA approved. So now and state legislation and even federal legislation have already set them up to give them the right to impose that before the FDA approval.
Supreme Court already been
Because it's an emergency approval of it. They've already given them the right. So regardless on if you don't like the chemicals or like how they moved about it, they are operating in their legal
I
right.
don't necessarily like how they moved about it now, but at the same time, it's like they do have some parts of judicial system will support businesses and how they are able to operate. This right now, people, the nurses, when the hospital said, hey, you either get vaccinated or you get fired, the court said, we agree. When the students in Indiana University tried to say we shouldn't have to get vaccinated, Supreme Court said they didn't even hear the case. Amy Coney Barrett said no, the school has a right to protect public health. and also because they teach healthcare and those things, they have the almost the responsibility.
You talking about the Florida thing?
No, this is in Indiana.
Oh, because you heard about what Florida's about to do, right?
What?
So they're telling the schools to lift their masks.
Oh yeah, or is they going to pull the funding?
Or no, they're going to take 12% of the salaries of the teachers. That's what they're saying.
That's wrong.
It is wrong.
It's wrong to make people put things in their body.
But it's also wrong for you to try to tell a school district that they can't mandate mask.
Oh my gosh, you think that's wrong? That's like totally inhumane to make people put things in their body that they don't even know is not gonna harm them, make them.
So a mask is gonna harm you? A mask is gonna harm you?
That's not what I'm saying.
That's what we are talking about.
That's more extreme. By making people put stuff in their bodies that's not been approved and totally just, that's because it's gonna make us safe a little bit.
Well, now let's be real.
Stupid.
People do it all the time.
We do it, yeah.
Like
that's
people was
my
taking hard-on pills and stuff before they get approved and all that. People was taking,
but that's their choice.
People was taking.
It's not been mandated across the world.
Mesothelioma and all that. Like we see it. People. There's millions of commercials that come out for drugs that aren't FDA approved that people buy all the time. Like, that's the problem. And let's not get,
if you
there's
look at
so many things that we do. Like,
if you look at the past.
You smoke cigarettes?
I do.
Okay, so what about that?
Because
all the chemicals.
That's
all the
my.
But
that is my
what I'm
fucking
saying is
choice.
all the chemicals that they put that
it's not a
put
company, not a business, not a fucking government telling me what to put in my body.
But what I'm trying to say is the same people that are wagging their finger at somebody about the stuff that they put in their body put way worse stuff in their body.
But that is their damn choice.
Regardless of what do you? What's the fight?
But wait. Okay, so wait. Since you made that choice, since you made that choice, should the hospital not take care of you because you made that choice?
What choice?
They should take care of her.
Because you made that choice.
Everybody has the right to medical.
Wait. Everybody
has the right to medical.
But you
don't have a right to medical.
Everybody has a right to Mexico.
Everybody
has a right to medical.
But wait, you said because you smoke.
You gotta apply for it.
Because you.
No, you don't have to apply for it. What are you talking about?
I ain't never got medical.
Well,
you can go down to Harborview.
They go to hospitals.
They will.
They have a fund.
Care for you regardless. Yes.
They have a fund.
Send you a bill.
They're gonna send you a bill.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they get money for it, but they still gonna charge you.
Still gonna charge you.
That's what I'm saying. That's not free medical. And guess what? When they come on your name, guess what? They go to collections. That thing can ruin your credit. Let's be real. Come on, man.
That's true.
Let's not do that. Ain't no free medical without you filling out any type of paperwork.
There's not, but there are programs. There are other things that you can do.
You gotta find those things. You gotta apply for them. You can't.
You don't apply.
You don't just sit at home and one day somebody say, "Okay, we got your bills."
Right. No, that doesn't.
You gotta fill out papers. You gotta qualify for. There's all these steps.
But I'm saying,
let's not do that.
Nobody is being turned away for medical. Yes, there's going to be bills or programs. Blah blah blah. That's not what the hell I'm saying.
They're going to take care of you regardless.
Yeah, they should take care of you. They shouldn't send you out the door. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, though, what I'm saying is
but wait, hold on. But they shouldn't have a choice?
No.
They shouldn't have a choice.
They shouldn't have a choice for what?
They shouldn't have a choice to take care of you?
Why?
They should take
because
care of
that's their job.
Because you chose to smoke?
No, but I mean, okay. But
no, that is not the same thing at all, Trey.
No, time out.
That's not the same thing at all.
Let me tell you this then. You eat too many cheeseburgers, you gotta get a triple bypass. So they not doing it on you because you clogged your arteries.
Right? No,
that was your choice.
Exactly.
No, that's their job.
Yeah,
that's supposed to take
no. That's their job.
But then you can't.
It's illegal for somebody to push you away
to
do
your practices. Regardless on your personal practices, their job is to take care of you.
That's their job.
Their job is to, regardless of your personal practices. So they can't judge you based on your personal practices. Their job is to just perform and make you better
exactly.
than you
That's the same thing with the school and everybody else. They have a job to protect public health.
That's true.
They have
medical
they have a job
health.
to protect public health.
Yes,
public
they're employees.
Not
in restaurants, not in freaking bars.
They're paid for by us.
Yeah, but let's be real because you see, but I'll take it pre-COVID. You send your kid to school sick.
Yeah.
The teacher's calling you and sending your kid home. Let's be real.
And you had a choice to send your kids back to school.
So what I'm saying is,
you don't have to do that. Keep them home. If
But-
you don't want to put them masks on or whatever.
But the school
I kept my kids
with
home.
vaccinated with the vaccinations.
If they have a choice, they're not being mandated to. Now I think they are in the next
teachers?
few months. But yes.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about last year's school year. There was choices.
With the
And
other
that is
vaccines.
what should be happening.
With polio, with all those ones.
Nobody's taking away anybody's rights by giving them a choice to
They're
what
not-
they want to do
they're
to
not
their body.
taking away your
Yeah, they
rights.
are.
They're not taking away
Mandating
your right.
to get a vaccination that's not FDA
They'll find a
approved is
loophole.
taking your right.
They've already found
away.
loopholes.
Taking away your right.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
They found a loophole. They found exemptions. They'll get around it. The people that's going to affect, like, they're going to figure a way around it.
Always.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm just like, okay, whatever. They'll figure it out.
And that's fine. I'm okay with that
Yeah.
too. But I'm not going to do it until the very last.
Right.
Because I want to see whoever else is going to fall off the cliff over here
I mean-
getting it because they're the first ones in line. Like, hey, pump me up with whatever you're going to give me. No, I'm going to wait. Obviously, I'm going to have to take it. Nobody's saying.
But you just have to wait.
Yeah, nobody's
Yeah.
saying that I'm not. I know I'm not going to have to or my kids, but
It's just whenever
I'm
you
going to
want.
wait and wait and wait. There's no reason for me. I'm
I
at
wasn't
home with my
doing
kids.
it
I'm
until
not.
we had to.
There's no reason for me to have to jump on that wagon yet.
Until next
if
week.
if I were him, I would have too. They told
that's
me at my
why-
job, I would have been like, "Oh, I got to make decisions,"
We
but
just
I
got
don't have that
individual
decision to make.
choice. Yeah, you can make
So
whatever decision you
again,
want.
I don't have to. I'm going in public with masks on. My kids are going in public with masks on, or we're staying home. So therefore, I don't have to make that decision to hurry up and pump some crap in my body or my kid's body.
You can't call it crap when you don't
It's
even
crap.
know what's in it.
Because nobody knows. It's not FDA approved
All
yet.
right, but you smoke crap. I'm gonna just tell
So,
you like that.
okay,
I
that's
mean,
fine.
and
But that's
why-
my
and
choice.
that's all- I get that.
But that is my
I get
choice
that. I
to
just
do
want-
that.
I just want people to know how polluted that I would say that that mindset is to say, well, because we know the disgusting things that they put in cigarettes, and I'm not gonna lie to you.
Again, my choice. It doesn't matter your opinion or anybody else's opinion here.
I'm saying I smoke for 7.
It's my choice.
No, you're not hearing me. I'm not talking
It's
about
a
the choice.
my
I'm not talking about the
constitutional
choice.
right.
Kendra, I'm not talking about the choice. Listen to me.
Yes, you are.
You ain't let me finish, so you don't even know.
It's the same thing.
No, so hush. All right,
Vaccine
you being
is-
light skinned right now.
Well,
All
oh my gosh.
So I'm gonna tell you right now. Looky, you make a choice to smoke cigarettes. As bad as they are for people.
Stop
no.
comparing it.
I'm just
No, I
saying.
heard he's
It's not
saying-
even comparison.
Hear me out. You make a choice to smoke cigarettes, regardless of what's in it. There's already all the studies what happens to people who smoke cigarettes. I'm not against that. I smoked for 17 years. I've been clean off of that for 3 years, cold turkey. Thank glory to God. But all I'm saying is you can make the decision with that. And I'm guarantee you probably ain't do all the research to put everything that they put in that. Yet, the vaccine, you can wag your finger at and say that the stuff is in that is bad for your body, yet the practices that you already show are that. So people aren't going to take you serious when you say that I'm not doing this for that when your lifestyle shows the opposite.
I don't care.
I get that.
I don't care.
Regardless of the fact,
You know
I get
why?
that, but I'm
Because
helping you
this
understand.
body is not anybody else's but
Yeah.
mine.
Right.
Period.
No, you're 100%
You're
right.
I'm not going out here
But what I'm
pointing at
helping-
people, telling them whether they should or shouldn't do it. That's their freaking constitutional
decision.
right.
No, but
But
I hear
my
that.
choice is mine. Respect it or not, it's still mine.
Nobody's saying that
What
you
I'm
don't
getting
have
for
that
my
choice.
children, my choice for them.
Nobody's having you have that choice.
Period.
But what I'm trying to tell you is
There's nothing else
it's
on the
insane-
table.
It's insane to
No, it's
to
not.
control somebody else's reaction to what you do.
I
And
don't-
so
I'm
what
not
I'm
trying to
saying is,
control anybody
regardless
else's
on if
reaction.
That's your choice. Some people may look at the fact.
That's the thing what I'm saying. I'm not trying to control yours or anybody else's
that's-
opinion about that. Mind your damn business, and I'm in my mind. That's
But
all I'm
controlling
saying.
somebody else's reaction.
No,
They might not
that's
want to mind their business.
That's all I'm saying.
You
I'm not
can't
trying
control
to.
that.
I have no.
You cannot control that.
I have no
And for you
control. I have no control over anybody else.
No, you only have
You are
control
absolutely
over
right
Kendra.
over myself, which is why I'm not getting it until it's FDA freaking approved.
And I'm
Thank
just
you
telling
very
you,
much.
next week.
I'm just
I will
telling you,
continue
you
to
sound
say
like
that.
crazy. When
That's
you fired that
fine.
Newport,
That's
you
fine.
feel me?
I don't care.
I
Right
don't
when I
think
walk up
so.
out of here,
No,
that's
yes,
exactly
yes,
what I'm
yes,
gonna
yes.
do.
I'll tell you right now because studies
It doesn't
show
matter
that
what
thing
your
declined you
opinion
before
is
that.
on that.
But if she knows what's
doesn't
in it,
matter.
and if she knows if that's her, but I think it's just the power of her wanting to make a choice.
That's it.
But I think our
That's it. And
our
there's nothing
argument with
wrong
her
with
is
that.
My
her
argument is not-
research. It's
my
her.
argument
I
is
haven't
not-
researched
my
anything
argument is
on
not
the
your
vaccination.
choice.
But
My
you-
argument is
I'm not going to
and my
until I
argument
want to
is the
take it,
platform
period.
that people use to stand on for
Don't waste
why
my
they
time right
won't
now.
do something.
Things are going to change in
when
it
you
every
can-
damn day.
How?
I'm not researching it until I'm going to put it in my body.
But-
Because therefore, I don't want to have to keep researching it every
So
time
what's
there's
the-
something
all right,
changes
time out.
about it.
What's the
I'm
chemicals
good
in
at
Newports?
researching,
What's
so
the
I know I'm
chemicals
not
in
going to
Newports?
keep doing that.
Give me the active ingredients in
Pure and simple.
Newports. Give me the active ingredients in Newports.
Can we mute
But we
this
all,
over here for you?
but hers is
Active ingredients in
Newports. But
Newports.
what's in a cheeseburger at a restaurant? We all make
Or
those
what's in
decisions.
that alcohol that you were drinking?
We all make
Or
the
what-
decision.
what about this cup
Hold on,
right
hold on.
here?
What I'm saying
Anything
is
like
I'm
that.
not living off of that. So I'm not using that as my stance. What I'm saying is when you use that as your stance, then
That's not
people
my stance. That was your stance.
No.
Not mine at all.
My stance is
my stance
you're not
is
putting it in your body.
I'm
you're
not putting
researching it.
No, my stance is I'm not getting
Well,
it
next
until it's
week-
FDA
next
approved.
week- next week
Then
we'll be
I
on the
will
Black
research
Pew.
it.
Yeah,
Period.
Black Pew, y'all for tuning in the
No,
Black
this
Pew
better
crew.
not be a topic on
She's
Black
gonna
on here.
be. She's gonna we go. Which visor? She gonna get the visor.
get
No.
She'll get the
You know,
visor.
her first shot gonna be Pfizer. Her next one gonna be Moderna. And her booster gonna be Johnson and Johnson.
Yep.
That's it.
Don't do that to my girl. No.
Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all next
I'm
week.
glad you're not my doctor. 'Cause
Peace.
That's the
Well,
shit that you would give
You
me.
don't even listen to your doctor. So what?
That's not my primary doctor. That's my dermatologist. I'm not listening to my dermatologist
you
about
said
what
that
FDA approved
COVID
and you
shots to
asking me
get.
what I think is
But
better
I'm
than
sure
you.
if you listen to your doctor,
that
the
was
doctor
just a
probably
personal
said-
conversation of me and her having.
Yeah, but
she
you didn't even say-
recommended to me. That doesn't mean I just jump on board and say, "Okay, I'll go grab
So,
it."
but
No.
if she said something about your skin, what you do?
Yes, she's a
Wait,
professional.
wait,
She's a
right on that
She's
thing.
a professional.
but
She's a
she's
dermatologist.
But you get some cortisone
She's not
when
my
you put
primary
cortisone.
doctor.
But what if she
No,
said- but
she's
she
not
has
my
to-
primary doctor.
But she
So
has to know
no,
systems of the body, though.
No, I would not.
that's
trust my
not about
dermatologist.
skin.
A mechanic.
That's
doesn't
not
know.
about skin.
Well, hold on, let's
That
be
was
real.
about a vaccination.
A dermatologist
Lord.
can look
Have
at
a
your
good
skin
night,
and tell
everybody.
you what's
Peace
going
out.
on underneath.
But it
by
can't
the
do-
by your skin.
But it can't deliver my baby.
Yeah, but,
Yes.
but they also do have to know a certain
Oh,
level
or
of anatomy
have you
to
guys
know.
heard the
They-
two pregnant
dermatology.
women that lost their children after
Some-
getting
they-
vaccinated?
The two?
You're not going to talk about
The
that.
two?
though. Yes.
The two?
Two women. who
Have you
gave
heard about
birth
that?
to two
Have you heard about
stillbirth
all the
babies.
people who died who weren't vaccinated?
Did you hear about the
I
dude that
said
gained
specifically-
500 pounds because he was getting supersized McDonald's all the time? Like, come on.
You can't pick out two people and use that as an example. Come on now. That's not even. That was horrible.
Oh yeah, you've been.
That was like the two people.